on WMIX, on your radio, and online. Now you can watch or listen to Rams football on MyWithersRadio.com. Rams football is powered by the official voice of the Mount Vernon Rams, Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Rams football is also sponsored by Ford Square and King City Chrysler. You can count on us. Community First Bank of the Heartland. Welcome back to personal banking. State Farm Insurance Agent Tony Wilt. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Second Chance Auto, Good Samaritan Regional Health Center, Raising a Hospital, Raising the Bar, Alan Wiggers, your shelter insurance agent, Schmidt Chevrolet of Mount Vernon, Ren Lake College. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu, and also by the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois, Heartland Accounting, Bean Insurance, Central Christian Church, and People's National Bank. It's time to join Chris Hugo and Danny Czerwinski in the 94 Sports Mobile Studios for Mount Vernon Rams football. The Ren Lake College pregame show starts now.
And good morning from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Today the Mount Vernon Rams in action against the Marion Wildcats. No threat of lightning, no threat of damaging winds or anything like that or any severe weather, thankfully, today, as the Rams look to finally get this one in against the Marion Wildcats. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside for your Ren Lake College pregame show. And at Ren Lake College, you can get a quality education and save thousands. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu. Ren Lake College, it's time. Danny, the Marion Wildcats come in atop the South 7 Conference along with the Centralia Orphans at 3-1. They're 1-0 in the conference. The Rams, meanwhile, are 0-4 on the season, 0-1 in the South 7 Conference, and if you can get a win here today against a tough Marion team, you've really done something well.
You have done something well. This Marion team comes in to this ball game, the fifth-rated offense in Southern Illinois. They have the number one leading rusher, Shaquille Ivory, sixth leading passer, Matt Lewis. Offense galore for this Marion Wildcats team as they play here in 2011. And you have to think that at this point, Marion being the favorite, at least now, even though there'll be some other teams down the road that could give them a fits here in the South 7 Conference.
Well, and Centralia is a quick team that comes to mind. They're in action at Althoff tonight at about 7 o'clock. The Orphans are undefeated on the season. And, you look at that potential matchup looming in Week 7. Of course, you look at the Carbondale Terriers, who defeated Cahokia last night, and they're back in contention. They're now 1-1 in the South 7 Conference. So, really, you kind of take a look. Cahokia is 0-2 after last night's loss to Carbondale. Althoff, it really depends on what Althoff and Centralia do tonight to see who's going to be in the driver's seat behind Marion, depending upon what they do today.
Right, and then, of course, Cahokia goes to Centralia. Centralia trying to beat Althoff for the first time ever tonight, and then trying to beat Cahokia next week at home. And Cahokia going on the road against Centralia in some very key games. Ray Calling trying to turn that program around, but, of course, our attention switches to here where Mount Vernon is trying to get that first win of the season, not only in the regular season but in the conference as well here this morning.
Of course, we talked to Mike McManus about that game on the Saturday Sports Show this morning, and he likes their chances tonight. Of course, that game will be on our sister station, WRXX FM 95.3, and online at mywithersradio.com/Centralia. That'll be presumably about a 6:50 pregame with Ryan Rowdy on the call. Rams football's coming up here on the Ren Lake College pregame show about 16 minutes before kickoff. We'll tell you more. We need to take a quick break. This is Rams football presented by Banterra Bank.
Hello, this is Hunt Bonham with People's National Bank. We are proud to be a 101-year-old family-owned bank. We take pride as a bank in having products that are customer-friendly. With free checking, good CD rates, great mortgage products, and many other great products, we have everything to meet your banking needs. Stop by any People's National Bank and see what banking with a family-owned bank is all about. People's National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Yes, you can. You can get a car for your teenager today at Second Chance Auto in Mount Vernon. Second Chance Auto has a terrific selection of good, clean, dependable vehicles. It's perfect for your teen to drive to school, from economical models to trucks and SUVs. Second Chance Auto has just what you're looking for. They're family-owned and operated, and they've been helping families like yours for over 32 years. Yes, you can get the best for your son or daughter. Call 244-4582 and get pre-approved right over the phone. Or stop in at Highway 142 East in Mount Vernon. Yes, you can at Second Chance Auto. Back to the 94 Sports Mobile Studios on WMIX.
And we're back at the 94 Sports Mobile Studios from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. Here's the Mount Vernon Rams have a morning makeup against the Marion Wildcats. This one was lightened out, quote-unquote, last night as lightning kept coming in through the storms that rolled through the region last night. Unable to get this one in. Multiple games unable to be pardon the bad grammar, gotten in last night. Benton Rangers are at Murfreesboro today. Carterville and Nashville do business. They'll start off again at 1 o'clock, and the Hyphen Bowl will resume at dead noon, high noon, what have you, down there in Franklin County. So plenty of games going on today when you include some of the Apollo Conference games going on. Again, Centralia is at Althoff tonight at 7 o'clock. That's at Belleville West. In the Apollo Conference, Robinson plays tonight against Olney, or excuse me, today at 1 p.m. against Olney. Olney travels to Robinson in that one. And then there is a little Illini game, like that slipped my mind, that is today. Or actually it was. Either way, there's some games going on today, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, and then, again, that's a Trey Althoff game big on the list. Alvarado was at Vienna today at 1 o'clock to conclude rivalry week in the Black Diamond Conference. Of course, with all the makeup games going on, of course, as Robinson will host Olney this afternoon. There's a game at Springfield tonight as well, big game. So plenty of games in the area. It turned out to be a case you were going to have options not only of a Friday night, a Saturday afternoon, a Saturday evening, but you were also going to, with the added suspended games, lots of games to go to. Many people, some of the football fanatics, might try to make 2 or 3 games today, depending on what happens, how it shakes down.
Of course, unfortunately, there will be no marching band here today for the Mount Vernon Rams to kind of play the music to cheer them on. So the Rams fans will have to give it their all in the stands. Still plenty of time to get out here before this one starts, about 13 minutes and 50 seconds before kickoff. A very minute Mount Vernon Ram crowd here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium on what has turned out to be a beautiful Saturday morning. Not quite afternoon yet. We're going to have an 11:30 start.
Yeah, and the problem is you have an 11:30 start. You have a lot of activities going on Saturday morning here in the not only Mount Vernon but Marion as well that people probably already committed to, but well before last night's decision were made. So crowd's going to be cut down. It's kind of similar to a Major League Baseball game that's been rescheduled for an afternoon during the week when nobody can get there because of work. That's kind of the crowd you're going to have. You're going to have people here, but again, it's a Saturday. It's a remake. It's a postponement. You're not going to have a lot of people here. Again, if you're in the area, it's not going to cost you to get in. There is no admission this game this morning, as the admission was taken last night, and they're letting everybody in free this afternoon.
And I take part of the blame for that because that's something I never really addressed on the Saturday Sports Show this morning, was that it is free to get in here today. They're not going to charge you again if you came last night. If you didn't come last night, well, enjoy it on Mother Nature's dime, as it is a free gate here. About 12 minutes and 50 seconds to still pour in here to J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. We're with you on AM 940 and with video streaming at mywithersradio.com. If you're happen to be on a smartphone, say an iPhone or Android, you can watch our broadcast from your mobile phone. Of course, there's an audio-only feed also available for those of you who may not have the highest of bandwidth available. So for those of you who may lack broadband internet, I have heard that our audio-only stream is dial-up friendly. So wherever you are, you can also listen to us on a Macintosh. Find our instructions on the live streaming link at mywithersradio.com/WMIX. You can't miss it. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, more to dissect here on the Rend Lake College pregame show. This is Rams football on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. If you are looking for a bank that still has people in the lobby, personally answers your phone calls, and is focused exclusively on Jefferson County, stop by and see us. We have safe deposit boxes, free checking with free internet banking, and debit cards tied to the Mount Vernon Rams, Ina Hornets, and Woodline Cardinals. And coming soon, debit cards tied to St. Mary's Knights, with a portion of the revenue generated by your use donated back to your school. Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodline, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
When you want the best, think the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. The Orthopedic Center has the unique distinction of being one of only 2 non-academic accredited orthopedic teaching and research facilities in the state of Illinois. Our goal in education is to inspire the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Patient care, education, and research are our core strengths. Located on Veterans Memorial Drive, Mount Vernon, and St. Mary's Good Samaritans Centralia campus, the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Discover the difference.
Hi, Roy Schmidt, Jeep dealer at King City Chrysler Center, Mount Vernon. Have you ever dreamed of having your own Jeep Wrangler? Imagine driving down the highway with the top down and absorbing the sun rays. Off-road, on-road, wherever you want to go has just become easier. Right now, you can receive 0% for 60 months through Ally Financial on the exciting 2011 Jeep Wrangler 2-door or 4-door. This deal is so attractive, my son Ryan just purchased a Jeep Wrangler for a college vehicle. He keeps telling me how smooth the Wrangler is on the interstate and plenty of interior room. The 2011 Jeep Wrangler is still incorporating the unique design elements that symbolize off-road capability. Come to King City Chrysler today and receive 0% for 60 months on the iconic 2011 Jeep Wrangler at 1603 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois, where you can count on us.
Back to the 94 Sports Mobile Studios on WMIX.
And welcome back on WMIX online at mywithersradio.com for Mount Vernon Rams football. It's your Rin Lake College pregame show. Rin Lake College offers over 100 degree and certificate programs for thousands less. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu. The Marion Wildcats take the field. We await the presence of the Mount Vernon Rams as the clock strikes 9:40 to go before kickoff here from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. We understand that Marion won the coin toss. They chose to defer to the second half. The Rams will receive the football. Unfortunately, I did not see which side the Wildcats will be
Marion
on.
Will go defend the south goal, and Mount Vernon will defend the north goal to begin the game.
There you go. So the Wildcats will be going left to right. The Rams will be going right to left as you look at your radio dial, or as you watch on your computer screen. It'll go from start button to your clock. Will the Wildcats, and from the clock to your start button, if you're on a Windows PC, for the Mount Vernon Rams. So we're about ready to go here, Danny. It could be a good one. We thought the field would be much sloppier than what it is, but it looks pretty good under the circumstances.
Well, the surface looks good, and that's the key in this. Is it kind of looks like a sponge to me out here, even on the sides where, of course, a lot of the grass will remain on football fields at the high school level. It's rather spongy, and once the guys were out warming up, you could see some slippage going on even on the sides. Obviously, in the middle, if you're familiar with J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, there are some bare patches of dirt, soon to be mud, and are mud because of the amount of rain last night. The water did drain off very well. However, that water had to stay somewhere, and it's in the ground, it's in the field. So I would suspect as this game goes along, this field is going to get chewed up pretty darn good here this morning and this afternoon, just because the amount of rain that was taken last night, and you're turning around and playing the game immediately here this morning.
Of course, no other option but try to get this one in today. The Mount Vernon Rams welcome the Carbondale Terriers next week. Marion host Althoff in what could be a dandy of a game, depending upon the finish not only of this one, but Althoff and Centralia tonight at 7 o'clock. So busy day of football for the South 7 Conference, as only Cahokia and Carbondale got their game in last night. Carbondale, of course, won that one over Cahokia, which kind of a big deal there for the Terriers. That was their first win actually on the field against the Comanches. They had won a forfeit victory back in 07 when Cahokia's teachers were on strike for the first 5-6 weeks of the season. So get their first win over the Cahokia, and that's always a big notch in your program because Cahokia was so dominant in the South 7 Conference for so long.
Well, even when, Marion won their first game at Cahokia ever this year, even with Carbondale beating Cahokia for the first time, Centralia breaks their long streak. They have an opportunity to beat Althoff for the first time ever tonight. And Marion's going to have an opportunity, or Centralia will have an opportunity to beat Cahokia for the second time. You're starting to see not only Mount Vernon and Marion break through in the past to win conference titles, they might still lose those other teams. You're starting to see now Marion go on the road and win the Metro East. You're seeing Centralia in their streak. You're seeing some walls being broken down in the South 7 Conference just because the Southern Illinois teams, the before, are starting to catch up to the Metro East too.
They are, and that's about time. The South, I guess you could say in the South 7, as far as this is concerned, is rising again. This is your Rin Lake College pregame show. We'll have your Central Christian Church starting lineups coming up in a bit, but it's time to honor America. This is the Rams football pregame brought to you by Rin Lake College on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
What happens when you add a new voice and more coaches' interviews to the Saturday Sports Show? You get 2 hours of talk you can't afford to miss. If you really want to stay up to date, you'll reserve a preset for AM 940 this Saturday, immediately following the 8 o'clock news. Beware, other sports shows are just talk. The new Saturday Sports Show on WMIX and mywithersradio.com, presented by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be.
Does this sound familiar? I can't stand this job.
I just wish I had time to go back to school, but with work and family. I know. I just enrolled in Rend Lake College's evening cosmetology program. They have evening classes that will even fit into your busy schedule. You can even graduate in less than 2 years. Classes are convenient to get to, and they're in Studio RLC in Mount Vernon. They even offer financial aid. What's it like? I've been out of school so long. It's not your typical take notes. Listen to a lecture program. We will learn the latest styles and trends in cosmetology, and it looks like we'll have fun doing it. We'll be out on the salon floor getting hands-on experience and getting to know all kinds of people. By the time we're done, we'll be ready to jump into a new career and love our jobs for once. Okay, how do I sign up? I called 618-242-8459, but you can also check out their website at rlc.edu/studio-rlc or stop by the RLC Marketplace in Mount Vernon.
Let's go back out to the gridiron on WMIX.
And welcome back to J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium on WMIX and online at mywithersradio.com. It's your Rend Lake College pregame show. At Rend Lake College, you can get a quality education and save thousands. Visit your virtual counselor at rlc.edu. Rend Lake College, it's time. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski here on WMIX. And again, the video stream running now on mywithersradio.com. Marion Wildcats, Mount Vernon Rams here this morning, not yet this afternoon, as we will dwindle into the afternoon hours as this one starts at 11:30. A postponement from last night, in case you're just tuning in, as the Rams and Wildcats unable to even take the field. They were brought off in the middle of warm-ups, probably about, 6:15, 6:20, 6:25 last night. Never got underway as lightning kept flashing in the foreground and the background and pushing the start time back. The officials and school officials decided just to postpone this until today. 11:30 is the start time. That's about 3 minutes and 40 seconds from now. And so it could be a beautiful day for football, but will it be a beautiful game for the Mount Vernon Rams?
That's the key in this. You're talking about a lot of speed as local celebrities starting to file in here to J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. And again, it's a case where the field neutralizes Marion's speed a little bit. Had the game been played last night, and probably you're looking at Mount Vernon with a big advantage. Now with some time to dry out a little bit and not be as muddy, then you look at the fact that Marion might very well have a little bit less of a disadvantage coming in this ball game here this morning.
0-4 are the Mount Vernon Rams. 3-1 are the Marion Wildcats here on the season. The Rams will make their emergence upon the football field. An immaculate-looking field, as you can see on mywithersradio.com, with the exception of the mud spots. But as Danny said earlier in the pregame, once you step on the field, once you take a look at the field and see people walk on it, it'll be a spongy surface, but it does look pretty darn green for this time of year.
In golf metaphor or golf thought, if you had a golf ball land out here, you're going to get what you hit. It's going to leave a divot off a drive, and you're going to have to look for at least a halfway decent dry spot because you're going to get a lot of soft hits out of that mud. It's going to blow up on you. That's what this field's like. I mean, the middle, obviously, where it's wore out, it's muddy. It's not as bad as it was last night, and on the sides, it's squishy because the sponge and everything. It's one of those deals where as a player, and you do the drills in the summer, you do the drills all the time, you have to keep your weight on top. You cannot let your weight swing side to side, because if you do, feet are going to go out and you're going to go down, and that's important here in this game this morning.
Exactly, and to further your point, you used a golf metaphor. I'm going to use a hill jack metaphor that I can relate to, and it's going to be a thud in the mud. Is exactly what we're going to have here, especially on a punt. If you can, this brings me back to a game 5 years ago on the road in Hamilton County and Red Hill. If you could find a dry spot on the field during a punt, you must have nailed it perfectly, because there's not going to be much. It's going to be all give in the ground. There's not going to be much dryness whatsoever to be found, even though the grass gives you somewhat of a suspicious feeling when you see that. Starting lineups are coming up ahead, brought to you by Central Christian Church. Incredible things are happening at Central Christian Church in Mount Vernon. Look no further than thenewcentral.com. Watch their Friday night and Sunday services online. It's thenewcentral.com. Central Christian Church, loving God and loving people. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski as we prepare to start, but it's the bottom of the hour. We're paused for station identification. This is Rams Radio.
The best Rams broadcast coverage is right here. AM 940 WMIX Mount Vernon and worldwide at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
We'll have plenty to keep you up to date on here through our scoreboard updates. We'll run down some finals from last night. We'll also try to keep you updated between the Cardinals and the Cubs. That's an 11:35 pregame on WMIX FM 94.1. St. Louis Cardinals, Chicago Cubs. The Braves' magic number in the wild card race has dwindled to 3. Cards stand 3 games back. And the NL Central already decided with the Brewers clinching that last night. So will the Cardinals see postseason? Find out here as we keep you updated on their path to a potential wild card berth. You have a Cardinal fan and a Cub fan in booth. Will it get interesting? Probably not, because we're worried about Rams football. Danny, what do the Rams need to do here today to come away with the win?
Number one, cut down on turnovers. It's going to be a slick surface. Football's going to get away. Got to take care of the football. Number two, your offense has to maintain the clock. You have to control it by gaining first downs, keep the ball in your possession, keep that potent Marion offense off the field. Number three, you have to execute mentally and physically. A lot of times last week against Althoff, there were some mental breakdowns in the secondary, missed tackles that cost Mount Vernon. Mental mistakes and physical mistakes. You have to cut back on those if you expect to be in this ballgame with Marion here this morning.
Of course, the Rams will receive to start as the officials are on the field. They're about ready to go. We await the teams to take the field now. Pardon me. As we are about ready to get started. Some former Rams in attendance, of course. Trevani Badger and Daryl Mitchell, a couple of former Rams on both the basketball floor and the gridiron. Former Mount Vernon Rams coaches Dan Ming, Steve McCoy in attendance, amongst the other dignitaries in this minute crowd here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Marion has traveled well under the circumstances. They were here before we were, and we get here ridiculously early. So
yeah,
it's shaping up to be a good one here this morning from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. The Mount Vernon Rams are dressed in their all-black uniforms, white numerics trimmed in orange, solid black helmets with the white stripe front to back down the center. And the Marion Wildcats are in their white and maize Michigan attire. If you're familiar with the Michigan road uniforms, they are identical from helmet all the way down to footwear.
Interesting, the breeze out of the northeast blowing through. The Marion kickers this morning already in warm-up were blasting kicks where they wanted to. Of course, they have had some very good kickers over recent years under the Kerry Martin regime, so I'll be interested to see what kind of return, if any, Mount Vernon gets out of this kickoff.
The kicker who is not on the roster.
Of course.
So Marion is on to kick. Back to receive for the Rams will be Travis Mitchell and Derek Hunter. The kick will come at 11:33. It tails towards the far corner of the end zone, just shy of it, about the one. It's Hunter. Coming up the far side, 10, 15, 20. Looks cut towards the sideline, 25. Cuts back at the 30 and is pulled down at the 37-yard line. So a 36-yard return for Derek Hunter, and the Rams will have pretty good field position to start here, 1st and 10.
Yeah, 1st and 10. Good field position for Mount Vernon. Had a great return, pinned over to the Marion sideline that time. And you can see Mount Vernon running that way. Derek Hunter got a good run, got some good blocks, and a very susceptible Marion special teams leading into their defense this year, not rated in the top 10 of Southern Illinois, have given up a ton of points this year, 27, 21, 22, 18. Not good for a Marion team looking to advance deep in the postseason.
Of course, after this first play, we'll meet the Mount Vernon Rams starters. Of course, you'll kind of hear some names quickly here as we get started. Split to the right, it'll be Leonte Badger. Bradford will be split left with Reeves under center. 3 different faces in the backfield today. Travis Mitchell will be in motion, coming near, and now it'll be a legal motion penalty, which gives us time, Danny, to meet the Mount Vernon Rams offense.
Well, I would if you give the starting lineups to me. Actually, it's going to be 5 yards on Marion, dumping off sides. As they jump off sides, Clayton Reeves will start at quarterback, followed by Travis Mitchell and Dominique Gardner in the backfield. Pat Bradford will be a light wide receiver along with Leonta Badger. C.J. Lloyd also running back. Your line, Kyle Nelson, Caleb Jones, Corey Gibson, Craig Vichy, and Dan Morrison on the line for your Mount Vernon Rams.
An experienced line for the Rams. Have done a great job blocking and trying to create holes. It'll be 1st and 5 for the Rams from their own 42-yard line. Reeves is under center. They'll load up on the left side. It's going to be Dominique Gardner. He'll pick it up off of a hop on a bad handoff. He'll make it all the way to the 50 on the near side. Turns chicken salad into, something like that.
Yeah, we know what it was.
It's first down.
And the thing is, you could tell that Mount Vernon, again, you need breaks once in a while. That ball hit the turf, bounced right up into Gardner's hand. Didn't even break stride. Came around the left side, picked up about a 7-yard gain and a first down, and Mount Vernon keeps marching down the field. Sometimes you got to have breaks like that if you want to spring an upset against a Marion team.
Of course, the starting lineups earlier were brought to you by Central Christian Church. Discover the excitement at Central. Check out their website, thenewscentral.com, where you can watch their Friday night and Sunday services online. Double back set here, or double wing set kind of for the Rams. Handoff up the middle to Gardner. He'll step over his own man, get about 3 on the play to bring up 2nd and 7. Into Marion territory it goes. It'll be on the 46-yard line. So 2nd and 7 for the Rams as we drop to the 11-minute mark of this first quarter. Still scoreless, but the Rams are showing signs of life as they move the ball well here early on.
Signs of life. You returned 6 players that normally were hurt for you in the previous weeks. Adds a little, and again, playing an afternoon game. You got an opportunity to go down here and get an opening touchdown. It'd be important for Mount Vernon to have that.
course, the Rams are not out of this season yet, just 0-4, still eligible for postseason. Reeves is under center. It's going to be a handoff to Lloyd right up the middle. He's met by a wall of defensive linemen, and he'll make it to about the 44-yard line, a gain of 2, which should bring up 3rd and 5.
Still got a couple yards. And again, a Marion defense that in recent years has been able and allowed giving up big points, big yardage in games. And a lot of times their offense has to carry them a little bit. The defense not as solid in the last recent years and just hasn't been able to do it this year either.
Kick off the fall with a Banterra Bank free checking account. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. They are the official voice of the Rams on WMIX. 3rd and 5 for the Rams. Lloyd in motion. Reeves looks to pass, looking for a quick slant from Leonte Badger. It falls incomplete at about the 36. It'll bring up 4th and 5 for the Rams.
Interesting to see if Mount Vernon elects to go for it or they decide to punt here.
Of course, Marion has enough firepower to where you might as well. Good to see somebody else having the same problems identifying the Marion kicker. We'll try to figure that one out as we go along. 4th and 5. On to punt will be Pat Bradford. Glad to have him back. And he'll get it off of the left foot. The Wildcats back to receive. Justin Ivey. Little brother's going to rush it up the near sideline. 40, 45, 50. It's tight-roped and fell out of bounds finally at about the 46-yard line. That was a pretty good return as it swung near side at about the 19-20, and he brought it back.
Line drive punt, Chris, right to Ivy, or I should say here, the return man. And the problem was Mount Vernon had nobody there. And he took that line drive, and before anybody could get down there on the field, on the coverage, he had already taken it up the sideline. And unfortunately for Mount Vernon, just the way the punt was, didn't allow the punt defense to get set up.
9:58 to play here in the first quarter. We're scoreless as Marion gets their first series.
And now we'll see. Marion comes out. We'll see what they do. 5 wide receivers out of the gate.
They're going to, oh my. They're going to load them up out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Lewis, a quick pass connects on the near side to Shaquille Ivey. He is brought down almost immediately about midfield.
That went for a 3-yard loss.
That's not what you want.
And Marion was doing a lot of that in warm-ups, throwing it out in the flat and letting Ivy do it. They're a big play team. They're not going to go down here and try to get plays and big yardage and take 10, 12-play drives. They're wanting quick hitters for 50, 60, 70 yards.
So a couple of Ivies out there, Shaquille and Justin. Justin's the left slot receiver. Shaquille's the back man. Here comes Lewis. It's a quick pass to Ivy. He's out there in the flat at about the 40, 35, 30. Tie rope that sideline. I think he's pushed out of bounds at about the 27-yard line. They're going to spot it at the 26. That is a gain of about 23 yards on that quick pass from Matt Lewis.
And that was a case. Not only did he have an end come down on the quarterback, he had a linebacker suck in on the fake. Ivy went around the linebacker. Should have had him. They threw over the top, did Lewis to Ivy, and he was able to get that 20 yards on a cut play.
1st and 10 for the Cats on the Rams 26. 9:20 to go in the first, scoreless. This is Marion's first drive. Handoff to Ivy as he swung around from right to left. Got past the 25, down at about the 20. And it looks like it's just outside the red zone for a gain of about 5.5 to bring up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, and you're going to see Ivy. He's going to be involved in everything. Pass, running, whatever else. Maybe have drove the bus here this morning also. Outstanding player in Southern Illinois, leading the way with 12 touchdowns, 11 of them on the ground this year.
He is quite the runner. Finally a senior this year, and it's going to be a handoff this time to Cedric Neal, looking to go left to right as he was the left back. Got past the 20 as he expanded past the far hash to about the 19-yard line. They may spot it at the 18. They will. They'll give him 2, and that's going to be 3rd and 2 here for the Cats as they ran about 15 yards to get a deuce.
Yeah, spreading the field, and that's kind of play that sets up something here off their pass or off inside handoff.
It's going to be a handoff to Neal this time, off tackle up the near hash. Got plenty of yardage. Looks like he's shy of the 16. But that is just enough to be first down yardage. It is a first down. We'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Cats. They're in the red zone here. 8:22 to play in the first quarter. Rams football is presented by Banterra Bank. Help make your kids' future a victory by teaching them the importance of saving today with Banterra's Smart Kids Savings Account. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. And here come the Cats again. This 2-back, 3-wide set in this spread formation. It's going to be a handoff. Shaquille Ivey brought down. Great tackle by Blake Strickland. And that is going to be a tackle for a loss. Looks like a loss of about 2 if they're not being so generous to the Wildcats, and bring up 2nd and long.
Strickland came through from his linebacker position, shook a blocker, shed in there, and tackled Ivy at the ankles. Nothing to do for Ivy. He fell to the ground, loss of a yard, and Great play there, but Mount Vernon needs a few more to keep Marion out of the end zone here.
Glad to have him back, or glad to have him back? I'll lean it towards glad to have him back. Going to be play action as Lewis rolls to the near side, finds his man in the end zone near corner. And Justin Ivey has the 11-yard touchdown completion. And just like that, at the 7:41 mark, it'll be 6-0 Wildcats. That was a great play by Matt Lewis. Able to play action to perfection. Goes from one Ivey to the other. And he found him near the near corner, right out there in the middle of no man's land where nobody was there to cover. So it'll be 6-0 Cats as we await the point after attempt by the Marion kicker.
When cornerbacks turn their heads, footballs go by their ear holes, and that's what the quarterback from Mount Vernon heard as Marion gets on top of that touchdown.
So 6-0 at the point after pending. It's a 7:41 mark. There it goes. Looked like somebody might have got a hand on it. Won't matter. Splits the uprights. It's 7-0 Wildcats, and they're on top early on. Hoorah. Have one through in here already.
7 plays on that particular drive that went 46 yards, and you're looking at 2 minutes and 17 seconds on that drive.
So we'll await the kickoff here. We'll await the Rams to take the field. Who will be your Community First Bank of the Heartland player of the game? It was Cheyenne Morgan as the Mount Vernon Lady Rams beat the Cahokia Lady Comanches on the road in volleyball action on Thursday night. Great traditions aren't given, they're earned through hard work and commitment. That's just what they believe in. Community First Bank, proud sponsors of the Mount Vernon Rams. A great tradition. It'll be Mitchell and Hunter again, with Lloyd and Gardner in front. They are about the 4-yard lines respectively, while the front men are about the 20, 16 yards in front. 7-0 Wildcats, 7:41 to play in the opening quarter, and the Rams look to make something happen on this drive, assuming that the kickoff goes smoothly. Kick is deep, and it's going to be end over end near the end zone, and it'll be a touchback as Hunter had no choice but to hop back in the end zone to get it. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Mount Vernon 20 for the Rams at 7:41 mark of this first quarter.
And if you're Mount Vernon, you need to stay calm, do the things you got to do, get some first downs, run some clock and stuff like that, get things going. Not to give Marion a 3-and-out and give Marion good field position here on their next drive. You want to make Marion go a long way, not 46 yards.
So it'll be split left, Pat Bradford, a man in the slot, C.J. Lloyd. Right slot, it'll be Travis Mitchell, and split right, Leonte Badger. Lone back is Dominique Gardner in the backfield with Reeves under center. The Rams looking to thwart something here, and Gardner found a seam on a quick hop. He was able to go far hash to about the 29-yard line. We'll see if they give him all of that yardage. Looks like they only want to give him 8, so it'll be 2nd and 2 from the Rams' 28-yard line.
Very
so not
impressed.
A bad play from scrimmage.
Well, again, it's just a direct handoff up the middle on a little fullback dive, and he got 8 yards. The Marion defense, again, giving up a lot of yardage and points this year, and unfortunately, for them, they give up that right up the middle, and that's something Mount Vernon can take advantage of.
Gardner, just a sophomore. Double wing set this time, split left and right. Same personnel. Marion goes offside. That'll be a free first down for the Rams.
Second time Marion has jumped off sides. That'll be the second first down for Mount Vernon, and undisciplined Marion defense has given Mount Vernon a couple first downs the easy way that way.
Of course, Doug Creel, his hard work last night paid off. He was able to get the day off as he's taking in some Major League Baseball action today. So I'm proud of him for being able to get some officials today, as that was the toughest part of the rescheduling we understand yesterday. 7-0 Wildcats here in the first. Mount Vernon football, 1st and 10 from the Rams 34 as we drop below the 7-minute mark. Man in motion will be Travis Mitchell. It's a direct handoff again to Gardner up the middle. Marion not buying this time. Gets to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 here for the Rams.
Marion stunned at that time up front, confused the left side of the Mount Vernon offensive line. Linebacker came through that side, made the tackle on Gardner, and didn't allow anything that time. A little change up front for Marion against that Mount Vernon direct handoff on the fullback dive.
6:30 to play here, opening quarter. 7-0 Marion lead. Rams looking to march the football. Ball's on their own 35, 2nd and 9 to go. As we have some celebrities in attendance.
I was pointing out team photographers.
Split right is Mitchell, split left. As Reeves has some trouble, fumbles the football about the 20. It'll be picked up by Justin Ivey. He'll march it back for the touchdown. Yep. So Reeves was trying to roll to his left side, was having some trouble in the pocket. Almost flushed him out, but they were able to get the strip at about the 25, run it in from about the 20. It'll be 13-0 Wildcats, all on the defensive touchdown by Marion.
Well, it's one of those deals, Chris, where he rolled out to his left again, coming across the body, and he had two white-shirted Marion Wildcats on top of him. They came with a little blitz that time and nowhere to go. And in that case, he's either got two decisions. A, throw that thing away immediately, or B, just go down with it and take the sack. And unfortunately, he fumbled, and Marion is able to score.
So at the 6:02 mark of the opening quarter, 13-0 Wildcats with this point after pending, and this is not the way the Rams envisioned their second drive going. Kick is down. Excuse me. Hold is down. The kick is up and it's good. It splits the uprights. It's 14-0. It's a 2-touchdown lead for Marion here halfway through this first quarter. Yikes.
Yeah. It's not good. And you can't give turnovers. You can't give good field position to good teams. They're going to make you pay for it, and that's what Marion has done both times here in this first quarter.
Of course, if you can't get to the bank during halftime, don't worry. Bank in the stands with Banterra cell phone banking. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. They are the official voice of the Rams here on WMIX. So I guess if there's a silver lining to that dark cloud, it would be the fact that the Rams get the ball right back.
Well, yes, and for Mount Vernon, again, down 2 touchdowns, it's not out of the realm of possibility. You can stay within your game plan, but you still have to come out and have to move the football. If you're going to go 3 and out or not get a lot of first downs on a drive, then you're going to be some trouble, and Marion's going to make you pay and rack up some points early and often.
Deep man is Derek Hunter. Travis Mitchell offset at about the 5 as Hunter stands on the end zone. Marion set to kick off. Rams are ready. Down 14-0 here. 6:02 mark of the first. Here comes the kick. It's a boomer towards the end zone. Mitchell have taken the end zone. It'll be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10 Rams. Ball is on their own 20.
And there's your 12th man on Marion's defense. You pin high school teams back at the 20 every time and make a team go 80 yards. A kicker with that kind of leg is priceless at the high school level, and you see it again here today.
So the Rams start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line after the touchback from the deep bomb by the Marion kicker. As we will have some score updates throughout the afternoon from various things going on in the region. Of course, we got the earlier. There's Benton Murphy going on right now.
Third quarter, Benton leads Murphy 14-13. Close battle.
Scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wild. Handoff to Gardner. Hurdles a man. Gets to about the 25. Should be a gain of half. It'll be 2nd and 5.
And again, Mount Vernon's got something up the middle. Marion's made some adjustments as far as their splits are concerned and their linebackers coming in. Marion got nothing up front. They're a finesse team, both offensively and sometimes defensively. And right now, up the middle, grind it out is there for Mount Vernon if they want to exploit it.
Split to the right, it'll be Badger. Left, we'll have Bradford. Under center, it'll be Clayton Reeves. Some protection loaded up on this left side.
Marion has a late substitution. They're trying to tell the guy what's going on here.
Reeves under center looking to get set. Here we go. Man in motion, C.J. Lloyd. Reeves going to roll his left side. They're all over him. Completes the pass at about the 29 to Gardner. Hand is on him about the 32. He'll force his way 33. Gain of 8. It'll be 1st and 10.
Great catch by Gardner. Great play by Reeves to get it off. Again, looked like the play he fumbled on. Got rid of the pass a lot quicker. Got a gain and got a Mount Vernon 1st down.
Dominique Gardner is an athlete.
Yes, he is.
And as a sophomore, gives you a lot to look forward to over the next 3 years.
You're not starting a lot of seniors in a lot of skilled positions, so the next couple of years, Mount Vernon got a lot coming back. But let's worry about the here and now.
And the here and now is Leonte Badger split to the right, Pat Bradford on the left, same backs in the backfield. C.J. Lloyd as Marion's offside, Travis Mitchell and Blake Strickland into the ballgame as a running back. So that'll give the Rams a free 5 yards. Advance the ball to the 38-yard line. It'll be 1st and 5. 4:55 to go in this first quarter. It's 14-0 Wildcats, but the Rams looking to make a drive here with 1st and 5 from their own 38.
And again, Marion gives another gift. 3 penalties in the first quarter for 15 yards. And Marion did it very undisciplined here. And again, that's on the front right where the line's at, right where the football. Should move till the football goes.
Reeves under center, same set, except they're going to reverse the split. Split left, it'll be Badger. On the right, it'll be Bradford. Lloyd in motion. Play action. It's going to be a completed pass to Mr. Badger at midfield. And he'll leap to about the 48 in Marion territory, and that's going to be a gain of 14.
And as quick as this Marion defense is, it may come to a point that Mount Vernon may have to get Reeves to take a 2-3 step drop, throw the quick slant to Badger as Badger hobbles off the field, unfortunately. Mount Vernon with another 1st down, their 2nd one on this particular drive, and they enter Marion territory for the 1st time.
He's trying to walk off, I think, Mr. Charles Horse, or just a cramp.
Well, being on this field, it's some things are going to happen today like that.
1st and 10 for the Rams. Ball's on the Marion 47. Split to the left is Bradford, and it's going to be a handoff to Lloyd. Lloyd on a sweep, trying to break towards that far hash, gets to the 40. It'll be a gain of 7 to bring up 2nd and 3.
That was a great play. Original handoff goes to the running back going left. Handoff, running back goes back to the running back going to the right. 3 handoffs from the quarterback to the running back to this after a snap. Back the other way for 8 yards. Lloyd, hard running, gets close to a first down.
And, of course, the replacement, or I should say the substitution for Leonte Badger at this juncture, as that cramp's being worked out, is Zane Young. So he split right, Bradford on the left, with Mitchell, Gardner, and Lloyd as your backs. Reeves is under center behind that wall of an offensive line. Direct handoff, right up the gut to Dominique Gardner. Pushed ahead for a couple of yards, I believe, to the 35. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 5-yard gain.
Hey, you can run, and you see it here, Chris, that up the middle right now. Marion, not very big up front, a weakness. You can run up the middle on the Wildcats, and it's starting to show here in this first quarter. It'll be interesting to see if Mount Vernon can keep things going, if they can wear down that front 4, 6, 7 for Marion in this game.
Of course, Kyle Nelson, Caleb Jones, Corey Gibson, Craig Vishy, and Dan Morrison deserve a lot of credit for that 5-yard gain. They are the offensive line. 1st and 10 for the Rams on the Marion 34. 14-0 Wildcats as the Rams trail at the 3:07 mark of this first quarter. Reeves under center. He's going to roll out of play action left side, trying to find a deep bomb. It goes right in the middle of the field. I don't know if he's looking for Bradford, who is coming around on a cut, or who, because it looked like a flag fade for Leonte Badger.
Well, it's supposed to be that, but Badger couldn't get by his defender for whatever reason, and then the flag fade, as you mentioned, of Bradford coming the other side on the drag wasn't there because Bradford couldn't get there. The only thing back there was safety help on the 2 deep, and luckily that pass hit grass instead of in a white-shirted Marion's hands.
There we go. 14-0 to score. Rams trail here. First quarter action.
Slow down or what?
No, we're fine.
Okay.
We're good. 2:58 left on the clock here in the opening quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Rams. 34-yard line of Marion. It's going to be handoff to Lloyd. Great handoff there. Barely got it off. Lloyd cuts back to the far sideline. Looking to break for it. He's at the 10. 5. Far corner touchdown. Rams trail 14-6 on the 34-yard touchdown run by C.J. Lloyd. And C.J. Lloyd, Danny, is another kid, not a senior, just a sophomore.
Well, I'm telling you right now, he got around the inside on the inside handoff and got to the outside, busted it again. Credit the Mount Vernon offensive line here early. That line is really holding their blocks and running on Marion. Simply just flat out smash mouth football. Marion not able to stop it, and Mount Vernon has gotten back to within a touchdown here, going for the 2-point conversion.
2:50 to play in the first quarter, 14-6. The Rams are going for 2. No kickers today. Soccer match against Harrisburg over there at Lincoln Park that started at 11 o'clock. Reeves is under center. Looking for the quick fade to Badger. He'll have to pull it down, and the Rams are within 6. It's 14-8. It was good. Near corner of the end zone. A great fade route run by Leonte Badger. Placed perfectly by Clayton Reeves, and the Rams are within 6.
That particular drive, Mount Vernon, remember, started their own 20. 8 plays, 80 yards, about 3.5 minutes. The touchdown run by C.J. Lloyd for 34 yards and a pass completion on a 2-point play. It's 14-8. Mount Vernon right back in this ballgame, Chris.
Well, and of course, it's one of those things, Dan, where as you saw, only one play was unproductive, and that was the incomplete pass that luckily fell to the ground. Otherwise, you have 7 productive plays on that drive to go 80 yards for the touchdown. 2:50 to play here in the first quarter. It's 14-8. Wildcats are on top. Wow, that was a great play. C.J. Lloyd just put himself in contention for the Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game. Support your Mount Vernon Rams with a Ram debit card from Community First Bank. Community First Bank is the only bank with debit cards tied to the Rams, with a portion of the revenue going to Mount Vernon High School. Community First Bank, proud sponsors of the Rams. 14-8 Marion. They'll get the ball back now on the Rams' first kickoff. And now what do? Bradford? I'd have to assume it'll be Bradford handling the kickoff. And he will. A lot of familiar faces out there on that special team.
A lot of offense here early in this game, as you would expect against Marion.
Definitely. I see Zane Young out there. I see Jacob Stern. Pratt Bradford, of course. Wes Song is out there. Somewhere is Robert Grider. Jacob Williamson, among others. We'll identify the rest throughout the day.
The
Bradford's kick is a squibber right up the middle. Gets to Justin Ivy near side at about the 20. He's brought down about the 26. And a great play there by the Rams from a special team standpoint. It's not going to go very deep on a squib, but great philosophy there without your kickers.
West Song in on that one. Also number 26, Robert Grider, first one in on that tackle. Great job. Ball bounces around down there. And when it bounces around on that turf, it's not easy to pick up. It's a case of Mount Vernon's special teams gets down there, pins Marion in, have nowhere to go. Marion has to start in their worst field position at their own 27-yard line. 28, actually.
We'll see what they go with here. This will be the first time we've seen the Marion offense since they scored that touchdown.
And it'll be a no-huddle variety, too.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Shotgun for Matt Lewis, who replaces the 2-year starter, Brett Bradley. He's looking left side in the flat, finds Jay Riley looking for that left sideline. He's at the 40, 45, brought down out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. It's a gain of 20 for Marion. It'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Wildcats as it's a chilly day here at Mount Vernon.
Another person heard from, 16-yard pass, Jay Riley. Mr. Lewis for Marion, 4 out of 4 right now passing as Marion gets another first down. The chains move, and they continue with the no-huddle look. Of course, their plays are encoded on wristbands on all their offensive players.
That's why they do it. Now the shotty, it's going to be Matt Lewis rolling to his right side, looking for his man, finds Justin Ivy at the 45 in Ram territory, falls at 46. And that will be a gain of about 9.5.
They're going to have to measure.
Scott Gamber says 10 yards. We'll go with what he says.
Yeah, I'll give it to him because he's got the better angle on that side of the press box.
11:57 your time, so we're about to the afternoon here. A rare morning start on a makeup Saturday. Glad to have you with us, courtesy of Banterra Bank, where the retirement is years or months away. Open a retirement account that fits your lifestyle perfectly. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski here from the 94 Sports Mobile Studios, Looking to see if the Rams can come up with a defensive stand on this Marion drive. They've allowed Marion at this point into Ram territory, and it's going to be 2nd and inches here for the Wildcats. 2nd and a mini-peeled baby carrot, if that.
2nd and inches for the Wildcats after the 10-yard completion.
Oh, my. What?
2nd and 10. 2nd and 1 after the 10-yard completion. I just laughed at that.
The oxymoron of football math.
Yeah.
Love it. And that's what it'll be, 2nd and inches. The ball will rest near the Ram 43-yard line.
And this is an opportunity here for Marion if you want to take a shot deep, because you're going to have 3rd and short if you don't get it, that kind of thing.
The backs are in the slots, and it's split right for, Justin Ivy. Split left, it'll be Jay Riley. I say those names 3 times fast.
They got to get the chain set on the far side.
Play clock will start. 2:23 to go in the first. 14-8 Wildcats. Justin Ivy in motion. It's going to be a shovel to Shaquille Ivy. He's at the 40, looking to cut back near hash at about the 35, 32-yard line. It'll be a first down run. Obviously, he's only had an inch to go. And the gain of about 9, maybe 11. We'll make it 1st and 10 for the Cats.
And also Mr. Lewis, 5 for 5 passing here. That goes as a pass on the shovel to Ivy right up the middle.
Making it look easy. 1st and 10 from the Ram 32. He's going to roll left side this time. Throw across his body. Looks for Riley. Finds him shy of the 20 at about the 22. That's going to be a gain of 10. It'll be first down yardage. So 6 of 6 this time as we reach the 2-minute mark of this first quarter.
His first pass was for -3 yards. Since then, he's been marching them down the field. And again, this Marion offense doesn't like to mess around. No huddle, quick strike, move the ball down the field.
14-8 Marion with the lead, with the football. 2 backs in the backfield now. One in the slot right side. That is John Evans. And it's a handoff, Shaquille Ivy. Josh Brinson comes from behind to aid Justin Armstrong, and that'll be a tackle for a loss. It'll be a loss of about 2.
Handoff was not smooth at all. Ivy slipped, and then Lewis didn't get the snap real well, had fumbled it around, and Marion's lucky that ball didn't end up on the ground somewhere in a black-shirted jersey's hands because, boy, they struggled from the beginning on that.
Could have been ugly, but wasn't. Went Marion's way as we've reached the 92nd mark of the first quarter. 14-8 Wildcats on top. They have 2nd and 11 from the Ram 21. 3 wide out set, so it's 2 running backs, 3 wides here in the spread formation. Ivy out in the flat, able to bring it in. It's fumbled by Ivy at about the 16. Scott Gamber, the happiest person in the place. And it'll be, I'm sure you can hear the monstrous Puma-like roar in the background.
That was a big hit that time. Ivy's still down, folks. He got the pass in the flat, made a move on one Ram defender, and Blake Strickland came over and knocked him to the ground. And Ivy right now limping off the field, not putting very little weight on that right leg, kind of trying to run off now. But, boy, what a lick put on him. Marion turns the ball over, and Mount Vernon starts at their own 16-yard line. What a big play by the Mount Vernon defense.
That is a huge play. We're just past the top of the hour. We'll pause for station identification. This is Rams Radio.
The best Rams broadcast coverage is right here. AM 940 WMIX Mount Vernon and worldwide at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Here we are from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium, 1:12 to play. Here in the first quarter, it's 14-8. Looks like we have an injury timeout.
Yeah, Ivy walked across or jogged across the field and then could not make it across. Went down about the 30-yard line, more towards the Marion side, holding the leg, and now they're trying to pick him up. And now he's putting no weight whatsoever on the right leg, so he will go out, and a major weapon, at least for now, is out for Marion heading to the sidelines.
Oh, my goodness. Well, hopefully he'll be okay for the Wildcats. Shaquille Ivy, I know, the main cog of their running game, and wow. Yep, that did not look good.
No, it did not. The way that leg was, he did try to put weight on it but couldn't get it done, and unfortunately for Marion, he is out for the time being. He may be able to come back as they take him. They got him hidden back there. Can't see him anywhere.
Reeves will be under center. Split to the right, it'll be Badger who's back in the game. Split left, Bradford. And I thought he's going timeout.
He's killing the play and changing to something different.
So he recognizes something. The defense almost pulled Marion offside. Lloyd will be in motion. It's a handoff right up the middle to Gardner. They saw it coming the entire time. No gain if lucky. Maybe a short gain, as it'll be 2nd and 9 for the Rams as we drop below the minute mark here in the first. So big turnover force there on the Wildcats is what set the tone here. They were threatening again in the red zone, but fumbled by Ivy. He comes out of the game injured as we drop below the 1 minute mark here in this first quarter. Marion leads 14-8. Rams trying to make something happen. It'll be Reeves under center with his double wing set. In motion, Mitchell. It's a handoff this time. Gardner runs into his own man in the backfield.
Now, you see Marion's best player go out. You got to match the intensity now. Marion's defense starting to pick their intensity level up a little bit, knowing that, hey, we may have to do something here as this first quarter is going to wind down.
Of course, it's me. There's a 5-second differential between play clock and game clock, benefiting the game clock. I'm going to allow the time to expire, get the free timeout, take it to the second quarter, switch sides, and see what can happen, which is looking like what the Rams will do here. Rams football presented by Banterra Bank. Score a TD with a CD. Check out Banterra's interest rates on deposit products. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. We've reached the end of one quarter of the Mount Vernon Rams trail the Marion Wildcats 14-8. This is Rams football on WMIX.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Learn to live healthy, learn to live well, and learn how you can live free from unexpected medical expense with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance and the Page Agency. Health insurance that covers hospital, medical, and surgical expenses, offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount too. Rising medical costs don't have to be a problem with a major medical expense policy from Pekin Insurance. This is coverage we hope you'll never need, but you just can't be without. Call the Page Agency at 242-7000 about a major medical health insurance plan today.
This is Mike Reese. You're listening to the Rams on WMIX.
And welcome back to the 94 Sports Mobile Studios from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. We start the second quarter. Rams with the football, 3rd and 12 from their own 14, trailing the Marion Wildcats 14-8. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside. And Rams are spread it out a little bit. C.J. Lloyd will enter the slot right side. Split right is Badger. Split left is Pat Bradford. Reeves is under center with one wing back being Travis Mitchell. He's going to head out as a receiver. It's going to be a pass near side to Badger, shy of the 30. It's first down yardage on a gain. We have a flag on a late hit out of bounds, I think, on the Wildcats.
Yeah, great play by Jared Shaner. Roll Reeves out to his strong side right hand. Rolls him out to the right. The linebacker blitz came from the backside, couldn't catch him. Badger drags across the field, and it'll be a Mount Vernon first down on the pass play, 12 yards.
Add another 15 onto that, and that's 27-yard movement for the Mount Vernon Rams. Will be first and 10 after the late hit penalty.
You see a very undisciplined Marion defense so far. 3 offside penalties, jumping before the ball snapped. Now 15-yard penalty of 30 total yards, 4 penalties, 30 yards. Just not a very disciplined defense right now for Marion in this ball game early on.
So the ball will be on the Mount Vernon 43. 7 seconds into this second quarter. 14-8, Marion on top. And here come the Rams looking to march. Split to the left. It'll be Badger. Tied in now is I said Badger. I meant Bradford left side. Badger's an end on the near side. Reeves going to keep it himself, and he is going left side. He's going to be pulled out of bounds for a huge loss at about the 33-yard line. So that's a loss of 10. It'll bring up second and 20.
Clayton Reeves, Mount Vernon decided to go option there that time, and Reeves got to the option. The only problem is the pitch man stopped. There was nobody to pitch it to, so obviously if there's nobody to pitch it to, the pitch man goes after the quarterback, as did the guy on the quarterback, the linebacker. Loss of yardage because there's nobody for Clayton to pitch to.
Ooh, and they called him down at the 32, so it'll be second and 21 instead at the 11:20 mark. 14-8 Marion, and that could be a huge dagger here offensively for the Rams. They're going to need another basically pass play like they had a moment ago with a penalty tacked on at this point. Split right is Badger, left is Bradford with Lloyd in the slot right side. Reeves rolls to his right. Arm pulled partially down on the pass, throws it to the 42. His man was on the 48, or excuse me, 38. Man was on the 48. It'll be third and 21.
Yeah. Right now, Mount Vernon had that first down, big penalty, lots of momentum. Then went the option, nothing worked. Threw a flat pass to nobody. Nobody was downfield because Clayton Reeves was kind of running for his life. Now it's third and forever, and you got to get in Marion territory. You get a first down. This is something you don't have in many playbooks.
Speaking of playbooks, let's venture to some other playbooks. What's the Murphy Benton?
Fourth quarter, Benton leads Murphy 28-13. That should be just about winding down. They started about an hour ago.
Rangers need that one for postseason hope. That scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilt. More on Anthony after the play. It's third and 21. Timeout. And we have a timeout. This timeout will be brought to you by Ford Square of Mount Vernon. Fuel economy has been redefined with the all-new 2011 Ford Fiesta with up to 40 miles per gallon highway. It's a pretty big deal. Ford Square, where the best never rest, Mount Vernon. Of course, if you need a new vehicle, you're going to need some auto insurance. Am I right or am I right? Tony Wilt brought you that scoreboard update a moment ago. And for all of your insurance and financial service needs, call Tony Wilt, your local State Farm agent. You can find him on the web at TonyWilt.com or on the corner of 42nd and South Water Tower Place right here in Mount Vernon. Of course, if you see that red Jeep in the parking lot, stop in. He'll talk to you. He'll take some time out of his day as we have the timeout here, Danny. 14-8 the score. Rams are down 6, have it third and 21 after a couple of plays that just did not go the way of the Rams. One, a botched option, as you said. The other one, a pass attempt where Reeves rolled right and just overthrew it as he felt some pressure in the pocket. What do the Rams do here on third and long?
Somehow get some kind of positive yardage. You don't want to pin your punter in your back. At the very least, get some positive yardage. At least give your punter an opportunity to maybe pin Marion deep in their territory.
They're going to load them up on the line with Bradford split left.
They're coming.
Reeves is under center. The backs are Mitchell, Strickland, and Lloyd. It's going to be a handoff to Strick. They're going to try to rely on that speed. He gets to about the 40-yard line. About 5 shy of the original line of scrimmage, maybe 6 yards if they're generous. And it'll bring up fourth and 15.
Well, that'll help. I mean, that gives you 8 positive yards and now allows for a punt. And Mount Vernon will have to punt it. But, again, you got to get a good punt here, and you got to get some good coverage, not allow Marion to get a return. And that will help. That helps in any way.
It's Jay Riley on the left, Justin Ivey on the right to receive for Marion. So looking to capitalize on the non-capitalization of the turnover by the Rams. Bradford's back to punt off the left foot. Won't get very far. Marion got a hand on it. It's out of bounds at about the 30,
Oh,
or
wow.
excuse me, the 40.
I was going to say 45. Yep.
Wow, I was going to say about the 43.
Yeah.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats, the Marion 45.
Shaquille Ivy is running back and forth. I wouldn't say running. It's more of a low-level jog, trying to test out the leg over there on the Marion sideline. He is not in on this particular offensive possession, at least as of yet.
We'll see who they send in his place. Matt Lewis, the quarterback, working out of the shotgun most of the day in this spread offense. We'll have Henry Jones. So they're going to load up. Trips on the right with Riley on the near side. Single back is, that's going to be a pass to Ivy in the flat. That's Justin Ivy. Roll up that right hash down to about the 40. Stays on his feet, 30. Breaks towards the far side. Coming up for the tackle was Travis Mitchell. Got him about the 20. We'll see where they spot it. They're going to spot it about the 17, which is a gain of a lot. That's going to be about a 38-yard gain by Justin Ivy. So
yeah.
Great pass there by Lewis to find him. Started to say Brett Bradley, but a great pass by Lewis. Ivy reeled it in the flat and then did the rest himself.
Nothing special. Just throw it out short and let your backs and receivers get most of the yardage. When you got the athletes like that, you can do it.
Now a two-back set with Cedric Neal and Henry Jones. It's going to be handoff to Jones. Trying to go right at the middle. Looks like there's a couple of Rams there to meet him. Among them was Caleb Jones.
Yeah, that didn't work. Marion can't stop to run up the middle. It doesn't look like Marion can run up the middle. A little bit different offensive line this year for Marion than in the past couple of years.
Yeah, not quite as sizable.
No gain on the play. I'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
And by that, I mean height. Taller in the past. Out of the empty backfield, here comes Matt Lewis rolling to his right. It's nearly picked off. Picked up by Badger! It was tipped by Travis Mitchell at about the 7. Badger comes away with it, stays in bounds, gets both feet down, only requires one. Gets both feet down in bounds, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. They have to capitalize this time.
Very surprising that Lewis threw that ball into double coverage that time, and the interception recovered by Mount Vernon. Just shocked that Marion would try to thread that needle in there, and 2 black-shirted Mount Vernon Rams defenders there to cover that out pattern, and Mount Vernon forces Marion their 2nd turnover of the day. Now you got to get some first downs and get out of the shadow of your own goal post and run some time down here in the 2nd quarter.
Reeves under center. Slot receiver on the right side will be Travis Mitchell. Split right. Mitchell will be in and around. He's going up left side. He's at the 10. Looking to break at the 15, 20. Pushed out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Depending upon the spot, could be as many as a 15-yard gain for Travis Mitchell.
Hey, you can run on Marion, and I think it's starting to show a little bit here as Marion trying to make up for the lack of stopping the middle run. Now Mount Vernon able to string it to the outside. Guys carrying out their fakes, guys blocking up front, working very well right now for the Mount Vernon Rams.
9:14 mark of the first half, 14-8 Wildcats. Rams trying to make something happen here. It's 1st and 10 from their own 22. With Reeves under center for the orange, well, just the black pretty well these days. Not a lot of orange on these unis. Reeves rolls to the near side, has a man coming. It's a quick pass. It'll be a loss. It's at the 15.
That was dangerous.
Gardner.
That was supposed to be a little pass, and Gardner was going to hang out for a while and check things out, and Marion sniffed that one out rather easily that time, unfortunately for Mount Vernon.
Fans voice their opinions.
Well, those opinions expressed that you can hear are not necessarily the views of WMIX.
Whether it's broadcasting, Dan Communications, whichever company you prefer. None of the above. 8:43 to go here. First half action. Rams trail by 6. It's 14-8. 2nd and 14 for the men in black. Unintentional as that may have been. Here comes near side. Caught by Badger somehow. Almost a horse collar tackle. But number 21, Troy Slinkard, repositioned his hands, and Badger comes up huge on the grab again.
Hey, you've got something going on. You've got a Marion defense that's going to bend a little bit, maybe flex more than they would like, as they're giving up chunks of yardage you just don't see. And again, this Marion defense just cannot do anything right now. Mount Vernon's got the running game going, an occasional passer to keep them honest, and the Rams are moving the football here just to pattern where you throw it up and let Badger go get it, and he did for the first down.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the Mount Vernon 38. Under center is Reeves. Looking around to pass, looking quickly. Ooh. Strick was brought down kind of awkwardly between the hashes. It'll fall incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass. That pass was down the middle of the field, right where some linebackers were, and Mount Vernon extremely lucky nothing happened there.
Of course, the state record holder in our presence, Brian Sipe, class of 2010, I think holds the record for most blocked kicks.
That and quarterback the Browns back in the late 70s
I was
and
say,
early
not
80s.
to be confused with that Brian Sipe. War number 4.
Brian at the Cleveland wore number 17.
4-year starter for Tim Holloway as well at catcher. It's going to be a handoff.
Handoff to C.J. Lloyd.
It was a Lloyd, and that's going to be a loss for the Rams.
Yeah, Mr. Sipe could flat rake. That didn't work. Run up the middle. Marion making some issues, taking care of things there.
So 7:44 to play in this first half on Rams football, presented by Banterra Bank. Again, Rams trail by 6 here, 14-8 with the football, 3rd and 10. So that was a no gain, actually. 3rd and 10. The ball on their own 38-yard line. Split to the right, Badgers. Split left, it'll be Pat Bradford with Lloyd, Strick, and Mitchell in the backfield. And Reeves looking to pass. It's going to be a bomb towards this near side for Badger, just out of his reach. Wanting the flag on Riley, not going to happen.
Great coverage that time. They rolled the safety over to cover Badger going down the sideline, and I think Badger really had an opportunity for that football. The corners and the safety didn't nudge him to the sideline to get him out of bounds, and Badger was right there. Wonder if he'd have jumped up and got it, but stretched as much as he could and just couldn't come up with that pass.
Of course, Henry Jones and Jay Riley were in on that. Great coverage, as you said. 7:18 to play. Marion will presumably get the ball back on the Ram punt. It's 4th and 10 from the 38 with Riley and Justin Ivey back to receive at about the Marion 30. It's going to be a fake. It's going to be a quick pass to Badger. He has it for a first down, midfield and more. Down to the 45 at about the 43. Holy cow. That'll be a gain of 19, and Leonte Badger's down.
The problem was Marion didn't see Reeves lined up in the slot back in the backfield, and he was able to get that pass and a first down. And again, Marion not paying attention defensively, ran right as a quick snap, direct snap, went to Reeves. He threw it to Badger, big first down, and Mount Vernon again in Marion territory.
Badger, we're hoping, just cramped up again.
Cool weather. That's odd to have a cramp on a day like today.
Gary Hammond of the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois, who takes care of your Rams. He's going to take care of him, and he's going to limp off a little bit and try to walk her off.
Couple of scoreboard updates. 4th quarter, Benton leads Murphy 28-13, and at the half now, CZR leads Cessna Valera Waltonville Woodlawn in the Hyphen Bowl 14-8. Interesting to see, Chris, in these games today that got started, those that have a lead when they went to bed last night, if they can keep the lead and win the game today when they wake up.
We'll let you know how those all turn out. Tony Wilt brought you that scoreboard update for all of your insurance financial service needs. See Tony Wilt here at Mount Vernon, 42nd and South Water Tower Place. Or online at TonyWilt.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Rams are going to hand off to Lloyd in the backfield. Runs up the near hash. He's at the 30, 25, 20-foot race at the 10. Horse collared at the 5, and that'll be a flag.
Yep.
Horse collared at and that'll be the second personal foul on Henry Lloyd. Or Henry Jones.
Yeah, he just flat came up and grabbed Lloyd behind by the back of the collar and just brought him down. And again, just a bad play, and it won't go for the 15 yards. It'll probably go half the distance. It'll work out to about 2 yards. But again, that's a second personal foul penalty for Marion today, and maybe a little frustration here by the Marion Wildcats, thinking they should come up here and go easy and go home. Mount Vernon's got an opportunity, the touchdown, to take the lead.
That was a huge run by C.J. Lloyd. It was to the 4 because the penalty is half the distance. It'll be 1st and goal for the Rams at the 2. Unfortunately, I'm struggling to remember if we were at the 43 in Ram territory or 43 in Marion territory to distinguish how long
we
that
started
run
the
was.
drive on our own 9.
Right. It's going to be, it looks like quarterback keeper Reeves, not much out of it. Just trying to figure out how long that run was by C.J.
40.
Ray.
I
So
had
what's
40.
Yep. Dang. Is he over 100 yet?
For Lloyd right now, he's got
run.
73, and 8 is 81. Been a busy man for a sophomore.
Yeah, 2nd and a goal for the Rams. Ball's on the 2-yard line. 6:10 to play in the first half. 14-8 Marion. Rams looking to tie it up here.
But you can't be happy if you take the lead. Job's not over with, though.
No, you got to keep
Got to
building.
keep pounding because Marion going to come right back at you.
Because now they'll be inspired. Split right Bradford, split left Badger. And I think this all started on a fake punt, and Rams let the burn a timeout. And this is not what this hurts. That hurts more than it helps. This timeout is presented by Ford Square and King City Chrysler Center of Mount Vernon, where the best never rest. The 2012 Fusion Hybrid can get up to 41 miles per gallon highway. Talk about value. Ford Square speaks at 5:50 to play in this first half. 14-8 the score. Marion on top of the Rams threatening with 2nd and goal from the 2-yard line.
2nd and goal. You like to see Mount Vernon get this touchdown in and get a score, get a lead. It's been a while since we've led. Trying to think back. And Mount Vernon would like to have a lead. And again, you're working down towards 5:50 of the 2nd quarter in the ball game. You got to build some confidence. You can't be too happy for the moment. You got to look at the big picture. You got to get some things done, even if you take the lead here.
Same formation for the Rams. Lloyd a wing back. The tailback is Strick. And using the right wing back in the form of Travis Mitchell. Split right is Bradford, left is Badger with Reeves under center, same line. In motion, it'll be Mitchell trying to go quarterback keeper again with Reeves, and I don't know if he got anything.
I think he's nothing.
He fumbled and lost it.
Gosh, that hurts.
That hurts big time.
That hurts. Thought he was momentum stopped, but the referee ruled no. The Marion defense makes a stand at their own 2-yard line. And that's a shame there for Mount Vernon. Start out your 9 and you go 89 yards and can't get it in.
A momentum killer for the Mount Vernon Rams there at that point. Winning Edge can customize just about any activewear like a t-shirt or a golf shirt for the team, organization, or just for you. Don't believe me? Visit them online at winningedgeusa.com. Quality service and fast turnaround since 1977. winningedgeusa.com.
9 plays, 89 yards on that drive from Mount Vernon. Ended up in nothing.
1st and 10 for the Cats from their own 2. And Lewis handed off.
Ivy is back in.
Went to a fullback that time.
Handoff number 36, Alex Long.
And Long carried it for maybe 1. Wow, they're going to spot that nicely. Give them 2. It'll be 2nd and 6. Or 2nd and 8, rather, from the 4-yard line.
Big push by the offensive line. That's what happened there.
5:18 to play in this first half.
Boy, if you're Mount Vernon, you got to pin them back. You can't let Marion go on a 98-yard drive here and get a touchdown for half. That might be tough to come back from mentally.
Rams ready to go defensively. And it's going to go to Ivy. He's going to jumble his way around at about the 10. Brought down by Travis Mitchell at about the 11. That'll be a gain of 7. It should bring up 3rd and 2. So the Rams are trying. It's just that Marion is a tough team, formidable foe.
Yeah. And the thing is, Ivy's back in, kind of made some moves there a little bit more gingerly than he did before the leg injury, but still a force to be reckoned with out here.
Lewis under center for the first series today. Ryan Gamber coming up to the booth. Here we go. It's to Ivy. He's going to break near side. He's at the 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 45. Loses a man, Badger. He gets to the near sideline at the 20, 15. Trying to shake Ryder. He's pulled down at the 3.
Wow.
So that's an 85-yard run?
85-yard run. And he didn't have to get up and go. I think if he's healthy, he probably catches it, but probably gets a touchdown. But golly, boy, you want to talk about turn of events. You fumble at the Marion 2, and Ivy breaks it for 85, and now Marion has a chance to go up 2 touchdowns instead of you going up and tying it up. Man, that's the difference between a team with a winning record right now and a losing record. That's the difference. Those breaks go the other way.
4:32 to go here in the half. It's 14-8.
Give it to Ivy. Got you there this far.
Ivy's going to try to bust up the right side between the hashes, and it looks like bent by a wall.
Well, he ran that far. You have to give him an opportunity to try to get in.
Gain of 1 will bring up 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line.
14-8 the score. With 4 to play here in the first half. And Marion threatening with the ball at the 1. 2nd and goal here for the Cats. Looking to bust it in. Try to extend this lead. Lewis still under center, I formation. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback Long. Looks like he hopped over the pile for a touchdown. It'll be 20-8.
Yeah, well, Marion that time.
And so Long hopped over the line for the 1-yard touchdown.
6 plays, just about 2 minutes and 58 seconds, and they go 98 yards. That hurts.
And they're on for the point after to try to make it 21-8. So just when you think things are going well, they fall apart.
Yeah, that's why I said you can't count the chickens before they hatch, and Mount Vernon dropped that football on the ground, and unfortunately for them, they find themselves down now.
Flag on the play, so it'll be delay of game on the offense as they did not get it done in time, so that'll push them back.
That's the 6th penalty on Marion. About the only thing they've really done wrong today besides the turnovers.
Rams football course presented by Banterra Bank. Don't get a flag in an embarrassing situation. Make sure you've opted in your debit card for overdraft purchases. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. Let's see. It's down and up. Looks like it's right down the middle. It's 21-8. The 21-8 Wildcats, 3:47 mark of this first half.
Well, turnovers and mistakes. You can't make him expect to compete and win.
Again, silver lining, Rams get the ball back.
Yeah, but you're down 2 touchdowns instead of being up. That's a big swing in the game as far as points. Can't do those things. Can't turn the ball over. That separates the playoff teams from those that get the basketballs out early, is the ones that can't take care of the football. And especially when you're on the opponent's 2-yard line, you can't get something. You know, 3 points would have been good there if you couldn't move the football. Cannot do such things. And now Mount Vernon, with 3:47 to go in the first half, needs to muster a drive. And I would say, at the very least, do not let Marion have the ball back, because they will get the ball to start the second half.
Exactly. Second quarter action from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. 3:47 to go in this first half. 21-8 Wildcats as they attempt the kickoff, with your deep men being Travis Mitchell and Derek Hunter. And it's not going to get to either one. It's Gardner coming up with it about the 21. At the 30, he is brought down 33-yard line. Return of about 11. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams.
Start at their own 33, and it'd be important for Mount Vernon to get a couple first downs here and get out to halftime. Don't let Marion have it back this half and then get it back to start the second half. That would be important here in this situation.
Trying to get this offense going here late in the second quarter, down by 13, 21-8 to score. Wildcats just killed any Ram momentum each and every time. It was a quarterback keeper, 2nd and goal, that caused the fumble. And Marion marched it 98 yards for a touchdown on how many plays? 7?
6. Just about 3 minutes.
And the Rams will jump off. Well, it'll be a false start.
First penalty on Mount Vernon today. And that's one thing about Mount Vernon through 4 weeks, now 5, is they're not penalized very much. Very disciplined team. Don't do a lot of things like that where you start quickly or make silly mistakes to get penalties. So Mr. Ivy out for a while, comes back, goes 85 yards, and helps get a touchdown score.
Football's Willis Reed. Split left, it'll be Pat Bradford. On the right, it's Badger again. With Reeves under center at the 3:41 mark. Rams down 13. Man in motion was Lloyd. It's going to be handoff to Gardner. Trying to run near side. Got past the hash. Now pushed out at the sideline. Probably did him a favor there. And it looked like a gain of maybe 5 to bring up 2nd and 5. Or excuse me, no longer than that. It's 10. Forgot about that penalty, my good man.
Got to remember that. Got to watch that marker. It's got the 1, 2, 3, 4 on it.
I hear it helps.
Yeah.
I hear the original marker behind that helps too.
Well, that helps too as well. Also too as well.
As far as where the original line of scrimmage was on this set of downs.
It's what they say in this game of American football.
And then when the marker that has the numbers on it is behind the one that has the original line of scrimmage, that means there was a loss at some point or a penalty. I got it now. Reeves is under center. Same set here for the Rams at 2:55 mark of the half. Lloyd in motion. It's a handoff. Gardner again. It works. They're going for it. He's at midfield looking to break a tackle. Slammed down by Jones again. He's rough at about the 46.
He's a physical player. And again, Mount Vernon with the opportunity to run up the middle. Marion's gambling an awful lot, especially if their front line. Stunt some things and send the linebackers. They're gambling because they can't handle Mount Vernon up front. And, boy, when you get through that first wave, you got some runs, even if it is just a fullback dive.
Bradford on the right, left it'll be Badger. Same backs in the backfield. Same line with Reeves under center here at the 2:31 mark. Rolling to pass. Looks for Bradford. Going to have to use his height. And there's a collision at about the 18. Incidental contact there. Great play by the Marion secondary. It'll fall incomplete. 2nd and 10 now for the Rams. 2:26 to play in this first half. Of course, Community First Bank with more Jefferson County locations than anyone else. Locally owned with decisions made here. Proud supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams and Jefferson County. Locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, and Ina. Derek Hunter is going to be sent right now. With Badgers still on the left. Lloyd, Gardner, and Mitchell, your backfield with Mitchell in motion. Issues on the handoff. It's stripped away from Reeves again. Looks like Marion may have recovered. Reeves had it stripped away as the handoff to Mitchell went bad, and Marion signaling they have it.
Well, the only problem is the striped shirts have it until now, and that's Marion recovery is another fumble for Mount Vernon.
2:18 to play in the first half. 21-8, Marion on top, and they'll get another crack at the end zone before the half.
And that's scary because Marion has 3 timeouts left, and at their own 42-yard line with 2:18 to go. They could get something done here. Half the worst-case scenario just happened. We turned it over and gave Mount Vernon or Marion an opportunity to march the ball down the field.
Those crazy cats are at it again. Gotta love it. 2:18 to play here in the opening half of play. 13-point lead for the maize and blue and white. Handoff goes to Lewis out of the shotgun, finds Justin Ivey in the flat. He's at midfield, 45-40 along the far hash. They'll bring him down about the 38. That's a gain of 20.
Yeah. 20 yards, and it just keeps racking up. Marion's going to have a chance to score again. Turnovers. Can't do anything with it.
We'll go ahead and pause for station identification. It's the bottom of the hour. This is Rams Radio.
The best Rams broadcast coverage is right here. AM 940 WMIX Mount Vernon and worldwide at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
As Lewis looks towards the near far corner, it's off of Ivy out of bounds. He went deep for the end zone.
Well, we appreciate the other Marion receiver being too close in the area and knocking that pass away because Ivy had it open.
Oh, yeah, Neal acted as a strong safety there. And helped him bounce it out of bounds.
That tells me somebody didn't run the right pattern because you have 2 receivers that close together in the area. That means somebody didn't go where they were supposed to.
Somebody did not look at their wrist.
No.
Their wristband. 1:51 to play in the half. It's 2nd and 10.
Yep.
What is he now?
I got him for 2 incompletes and an interception.
There you go. Well, the interception was caught by somebody.
Well, but
Lewis sends it to Evans, near side at the hash. He was at the 30, takes it down to the 25. Woof. That's a gain of 13. So that'll bring up a fresh set of downs here for the Wildcats. 1:44 to play here in the first half. They're up 21-8, looking to add.
Gain of 13 will give the Wildcats the first down.
Question is, will they add more before the clock strikes 0? Yeah, the shotgun Lewis, empty backfield, rolling to his right side, finds Justin Ivey wide open about the 15, breaks towards the far side, 10, brought down. It'll be a gain of 15.
And again, another breakdown. A guy leaving a receiver open to go over and double up for some reason. A guy that was covered, and again, a mental breakdown, and Mount Vernon loses 15 yards. Marion gains, and it's a first down for the Wildcats. First and goal to go.
So Marion trying to make it look easy here. Neal and Ivy Cedric Neal, Shaquille Ivy in the backfield. Riley split to the left, Evans slot right, and Justin Ivy split right. Lewis done a great job here today. That's why he's supplanted as a starter. It's a handoff to Ivy up the middle, gets past the 5, down about the 3. Looks like a gain of 6 to bring up 2nd and goal as we drop below the 1-minute mark.
Yep, plenty of time, plenty of timeouts for Marion. Mount Vernon uphill climb here not to go down 28-8.
So Marion will huddle up and get it started here. 2nd and goal from the 3. Wildcats up 13, trying to extend that lead before we go into the locker rooms. It's going to be a handoff to Ivy right in the end zone, touchdown. So 3-yard off-tackle run by Shaquille Ivy. And he's got to be over 100 because, heck, one of them was for 80+. We'll get his stats, of course, coming up at the half. Those will be your Heartland Accounting halftime stats. Coming up in the Second Chance Auto pregame show. 27-8. Marion's now up 19. Could make it 20. With 4 first-half touchdowns. And here it comes. And it's good. 28-8. It's a 20-point lead for the Wildcats.
Wildcats 28, Rams 8.
Glad to have you with us on mywithersradio.com. As the Benton Rangers do take care of the Murfreesboro Red Devils. We'll check out that score in our Second Chance Auto halftime show and run down some finals from last night at some point. Rams football, as always, is presented by Banterra Bank. Of course, don't forget, check us out on Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at 94sports. Receive exclusive updates during the game. And, of course, you can follow us on Facebook. Like us, WMIX Sports.
I would say if Mount Vernon can handle the football here on the kickoff and maintain possession, then I would say a drop to the knee and go to halftime would be the possibility here.
Well, with the fumbleitis that's plagued the Rams today, that might be a good idea.
And that has plagued the Rams this year.
Go ahead and talk about it. Get some hot chocolate and other high-energy drinks. Not to be confused with energy drinks. 28-8. It's going to be a squib to Hunter. He'll pick it up about the 18. Coming near side at the hash at 25. Brought down 27. Held on to the football. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams. We'll see if they do that or if they go ahead.
Saying to field position, I think you just take a knee and get it done. Go to halftime and lick your wounds because you're not going to be able to do much here with one timeout. Just about 29 seconds left to go.
We'll see what they do. That's Corey Gibson's the first man to the line, the center. Split left is Bradford on the right, Badger. 3 in the backfield, Lloyd in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Gardner. He's at the 30, 35, brought down at about the 37 for a gain of 10. Will it be first down yardage? It will. So the clock will stop to move the chains, and the Rams get another first down. Well, at least they're getting something accomplished here.
They're getting first downs, and they can move the ball, Marion. The question will be, can you hang on to it to get points?
It's always half the battle. Same set for the Rams here at the 17-second mark. It's a handoff to Gardner. He'll be brought down for a mega loss this time. They'll give him.
Yeah, that's a late hit. And again, makes no sense to me whatsoever.
That is the 3rd personal foul against Marion today. This 2 belong to one gentleman.
Yep.
1 belongs to this gentleman, who we will unidentify.
There's no sense. I mean, the guy stood up, the whistle's blowing. There's no sense in knocking back, and just a cheap shot. No other way to say it other than that. And it'll cost Marion 15 yards and a first down. And if you're Kerry Martin and staff, you got to be very disappointed with the lack of discipline of your defense with the penalties they've gotten today, jumping off sides and also the personal fouls.
That's not Kerry Martin football.
No, it's not.
28-8 the score. We'll drop below 10 seconds here in the first half. 1st and 10 for the Rams from the Marion 49. They're going to have to hurry. Reeves under center, looks flustered. There he goes, gets it off, and it's going to be a handoff to Gardner. Going up left side off tackle, gets 3 on the play. So we have reached the end of one half of play here in Mount Vernon. The Marion Wildcats 28, the Mount Vernon Rams 8. This is Rams football on WMIX.
Hello, this is Hunt Bonin with People's National Bank in Mount Vernon. As a Southern Illinois family-owned bank, we have stayed true to our roots by offering great products and services to the people in our community. With free checking, free online banking, and free debit cards, we are helping our customers save money while also providing the safety and security they expect from a community-focused bank. People's National Bank, proudly supporting Southern Illinois. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You still pay once a month to avoid. Does this sound familiar?
I can't stand this job. I just wish I had time to go back to school. But with work and family.
I know. I just enrolled in Rend Lake College's evening cosmetology program. They have evening classes that will even fit into your busy schedule. You can even graduate in less than 2 years. Classes are convenient to get to, and they're in Studio RLC in Mount Vernon. They even offer financial aid.
What's it like? I've been out of school so long.
It's not your typical take notes. Listen to a lecture program. We will learn the latest styles and trends in cosmetology, and it looks like we'll have fun doing it. We'll be out on the salon floor getting hands-on experience and getting to know all kinds of people. By the time we're done, we'll be ready to jump into a new career and love our job. For once.
Okay, how do I sign up?
I called 618-242-8459, but you can also check out their website at rlc.edu/Studio RLC or stop by the RLC Marketplace in Mount Vernon.
If you or a loved one experience chest discomfort, pain, heaviness, shortness of breath, we at Good Samaritan Regional Health Center want you to know that every second counts.
I'm Khadi Shamsham. I'm an interventional cardiologist and a vascular medicine specialist. American Heart Association guidelines recommend that the door to balloon should be at no more than 90 minutes. Here at Good Sam, we have averaged 69 minutes. We have a 24-hour, 7 days a week, experienced staff on call, including a intervention cardiologist who are ready to respond to any emergency that presents.
Every second lost is precious heart muscle at risk. You have a first-class heart center right in your own backyard, where patients have access to the most advanced treatment available. For more information about our physicians and heart services, call toll-free 1-888-257-6098. Good Samaritan Regional Health Center, close to your heart, close to home.
Yes, you can. You can get a car for your teenager today at Second Chance Auto in Mount Vernon. Second Chance Auto has a terrific selection of good, clean, dependable vehicles. It's perfect for your teen to drive to school, from economical models to trucks and SUVs. Second Chance Auto has just what you're looking for. They're family-owned and operated, and they've been helping families like yours for over 32 years. Yes, you can get the best for your son or daughter. Call 244-4582 and get pre-approved right over the phone. Or stop in at Highway 142 East in Mount Vernon. Yes, you can. At Second Chance Auto. This is Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX. The Second Chance Auto halftime show starts now.
And welcome back to J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium for your Second Chance Auto halftime show. At the break, the Mount Vernon Rams trail 28-8. The Marion Wildcats on top. They have 3 penalties for 45 yards alone on personal fouls, and the Rams have been unable to capitalize. Get the car you want today at Second Chance Auto. Second Chance has the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles priced under $10,000 in one location. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Proud Rams and Lady Rams supporters. Danny Czerwinski's alongside. I'm Chris Hugo here. Again, the halftime score 28-8. Marion on top of your Mount Vernon Rams. And Danny, looks like the Heartland Accounting stats are ready. We'll hold off on that for just a moment. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at some of the scores from around the area?
Well, the scores that were completed, the one game that started at 11 a.m. before us, Benton has defeated Murfreesboro today 36-13. The Rangers go to 4-1 and 1-1 in the Ohio Division, while Murfreesboro drops to 1-4 and 0-2 in the Ohio Division. End of 3 at Cesar-Valera in the Hyphen Bowl right now. It is CZR 20, Cesar-Valera, Waltonville, Woodlawn 14. In a battle of lots of schools and lots of co-ops and lots of people.
There you have it. Hyphens and dashes even. The scoreboard update's brought to you by Tony Wilton, State Farm Insurance. For all of your insurance and financial service needs, visit your local State Farm agent, Tony Wilt, on the corner of 42nd and South Water Tower in Mount Vernon, or online at TonyWilt.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, take a look at your Heartland Accounting halftime stats. This is the Second Chance Auto halftime show on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. Isn't it great to live in a community where people give back and try to improve our area for the next generation? That's what we believe in, and why our name, Community First, reflects core values. If you would like to enjoy a personal relationship with your bank, make the move to Community First Bank and find out what community banking means. Simply stated, we are neighbors helping neighbors. Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking, member FDIC.
For shelter insurance.
For people who know that the first love of your life might have been an '84 hatchback.
Do you believe insurance is better when it relies as much on humanity as it does on technology?
And we know what the weather is like in your area because we live in your area.
We're the people behind the shield.
Shelter insurance for your auto, home, and life. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
I'm Alan Vickers. For a free insurance review, see me at 206 South 9th Street. Go Rams.
This is Rams football on WMIX, powered by Banterra Bank.
And welcome back, JD Shields Memorial Stadium, WMIX online at mywithersradio.com with high-quality streaming video broadcasts for you. And on your radio right here on AM 940, Chris Hugo, Danny Czerwinski, your Second Chance Auto halftime show. Mountford and Rams trail the Marion Wildcats 28-8. Get bank rate financing at Second Chance Auto with the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles priced under $10,000 and bank rate financing for everyone. You can get the car you want today. Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Of course, time now for your Heartland Accounting stats as we'll take a glimpse at what went wrong for the Rams in that first half.
Well, here was the situation as we know it. The unofficial official stats I try to keep. Mount Vernon with 15 first downs to Marion's 12. Mount Vernon had 3 turnovers to Marion's 2. Penalties a big difference in the game. Mount Vernon with 1 penalty for 5 yards. Marion has 7 penalties for 52 yards. 3 of those personal foul penalties, 2 each for 31 for 2 yards because Mount Vernon was knocking on the goal line in that second quarter. Rushing yardage, Mount Vernon with 153. Marion with 135, but if you take out the 85 yards by Ivy on that one run, they don't have a lot. Passing to football, Mount Vernon with 57 yards. Marion only with 163 total yardage in the first half. Mount Vernon 210 to Marion's 298. Dominic Gardner leads the way for Mount Vernon, 13 carries, 57 yards, while Shaquille Ivy leads Marion, 9 carries, 110 yards, and 1 touchdown. Also give a mention out to C.J. Lloyd, who has 4 carries and 86 yards for Mount Vernon. Passing, Clayton Reeves, 6 carries, or 6 attempts, 6 out of 12, 57 yards passing for Mount Vernon. His favorite target, Leonta Badger, 4 catches, 55 yards. Matt Lewis for Marion, 12 of 14 with an interception, 163 yards. His favorite target, Justin Ivy, 4 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown. As Marion broke out on top with a 11-yard pass from Lewis to Justin Ivy to go up 7-0. Justin Ivy picked up a fumble, ran it back 20 yards to go up 14-0 in the first quarter before C.J. Lloyd went on his 34-yard run for Mount Vernon. And Mount Vernon went for 2 and got it on the pass completion. It was 14-8. Mount Vernon was knocking on the door, had first and goal at the Marion 2. Fumbled the football. Marion went on an 98-yard drive, finishing with an Alex Long 2-yard plunge. That made the score 21-8. And then Shaquille Ivy, after that, goes in for 3 yards, kind of a to make up touchdown at the end. And Marion leads here at the half 28-8.
And those are your stats calculated by Heartland Accounting. Get started right and let Heartland Accounting help make your business a success. Heartland Accounting, 3300 Broadway, Suite 2B, your small business expert. Plenty more coming up ahead on the Second Chance Auto halftime show. 28-8 is your halftime score. Marion on top in this South 7 Conference showdown. Marion, of course, is 3-1 on the season, looking to advance to 2-0 in the South 7 Conference, and, of course, 4-1 overall. A game to keep your eye on tonight. Centralia Orphans travel to Altough. That'll be at Belleville West tonight, originally scheduled for last night. But then Rains had nothing to do with it, of course. It was a situation where, because of the remodeling at Lindenwood, they went ahead and moved it to Belleville West. The remodeling over there, Altough has shifted between East and West for their home games. And so it's at Belleville West tonight where the Altough Crusaders will take on the Centralia Orphans.
It was interesting, though, that East and West play here at 2 o'clock at East, I believe, today.
Yeah.
And then they are playing the Altough Centralia game at 7 o'clock at night, maybe not wanting to dip into the gate. Some people might go to one game or the other, but I would expect a huge crowd today at Belleville East High School for that rivalry matchup. But, you know, that game, of course, as you mentioned, not moved because of rain, just because of the scheduling that came out when that scheduling was done, and the Belleville schools working together to be allowing each other to play football games.
Sure, it was a common misconception, especially we had people asking us and calling the station, "Want to know what happened with the Centralia game? Did that one go off as planned?" And that just wasn't the case. This is scheduled for tonight after being moved a few weeks back. Plenty more coming up on your Second Chance Auto halftime show. We'll have the keys to the second half, see what the Rams can do, and we'll also see what we can come up with as far as maybe some previews for Week 6. We'll take a quick break. This is the Second Chance Auto halftime show as I am distracted by the mountain of a man that is Dan Mings. This is the Second Chance Auto halftime show on WMIX.
America is a nation on wheels. Everyone has at least one automobile. We use them for shopping, work, everything we do. But they can be a threat. Some accidents can't be prevented. Your professional Pekin Insurance Agency, Page Insurance on Crownview and Mount Vernon, can help protect you from a large financial loss when an accident happens. Call Page Insurance today at 242-7000 about low-cost auto insurance from Pekin Insurance. Ask them about the many money-saving discounts that are available. Depends on your hometown professional. Pekin Insurance.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Back to Rams football, powered by Banterra Bank.
And welcome back to J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium in the WMIX 94 Sports Mobile Studios. Bank rate financing and the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles priced under $10,000. What's not to love at Second Chance Auto? Get the car you want today at Second Chance Auto, Route 142 East in Mount Vernon. Proud supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams. Chris Hugo, Danny Czerwinski alongside on WMIX, online at mywithersradio.com. Where at the break, the Mount Vernon Rams trail the Marion Wildcats 28-8. Danny, it started out 14-8. The Rams were threatening second and goal from the 2-yard line, which would have tied the game, but a fumble, and Marion marches that back 98 yards to take a 21-8 lead, and the rest has been all Marion ever since.
Well, that's been the key of the game. I mean, Marion jumped out early, 7-0, goes up 14-0. Mount Vernon comes back with a nice touchdown and a 2-point conversion, 14-8. And you're thinking, okay, you're in this game, and then Mount Vernon gets another turnover and heads down, and they're at the Marion 2, and you start thinking, oh, if Mount Vernon could punch it in, they have a lead. And the fumble occurred, and then Marion goes 98 yards, and it seemed like the wind came out of the sails. Mount Vernon fumbled the ball again, dropped it on the ground, and then it's over. And again, you cannot stress enough in the game of football, you cannot put the football on the ground and let the other team have it so easily because they're going to make you pay for it, and that's what Marion's done. Good football teams, you give them turnovers, they're going to cash in points, and Marion's been able to do that here this afternoon.
We'll see how they can do it the rest of the afternoon because they get the ball back to start the second half. Danny, rough day obviously for the Rams to get started, but what can they do in the second half to maybe come back and thwart the Marion victory effort?
Well, the first thing is this. You're going to have to stop Marion right out of the gate. The Wildcats will have the football to start the third quarter. That's the first thing. You got to stop them. Marion has been able to go no huddle and move down the field rather quickly. Number two, when you get the football, I think if you're Mount Vernon, you can still, with the time out, get the football and go. May have to pick up the pace a little bit, run the football. You can get Badger open for some passes, maybe Bradford available also. But you got to run the football. You got to get it going. You can run on this Marion defense. You have seen that you can break long runs for scores against the Wildcats. I think number three, you got to play this in confidence. And it's hard at this point when you're 0-4, you're staring at 0-5, and the playoffs drifting away. But you still have to come out here and compete, play with confidence, and take care of the football. If not, you're going to see it drop on the ground. You're going to see your season drop there as well. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you except those in the black jerseys, and they got to step up and make some plays.
We'll see how they step up as we start the second half, of course. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski alongside on WMIX. Do we have a Cardinal update?
Cardinal update, bottom of the third. The Cubs lead the Cardinals 1-0. Of course, that's early on over at the ballpark in St. Louis, but that was early on.
Very early, apparently.
Yes, very early. 12 o'clock start today as the Cubs and Cardinals finish up, and Cardinals with something on the line, and the Cubs are causing problems for them, as they like to say.
And, of course, the Braves trail the Nationals 1-0, top three.
I know, and the Nationals are becoming the Marlins for the Braves. So the Braves struggle against the Marlins all these years. The Nationals are starting to become that team for the Braves as well, even though that one's early, too.
That scoreboard update's brought to you by Tony Wilt, State Farm Insurance. We'll keep an eye on both because, as you know, the Cards 3 games back in the wild card, and if the Braves were to win, the Cardinals lose, the magic number for Atlanta would only be 1. So that is a lot to think about. Scoreboard update brought to you by Tony Wilt, your local State Farm Insurance agent. For all of your insurance financial service needs, it's Tony Wilt on 42nd Street and South Water Tower Place in Mount Vernon. Visit him online at TonyWilt.com, or if you see his Jeep in the parking lot, stop by. He'd love to meet with you. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. We'll get the obligatory 3 minutes on the clock for warm-ups, as the time will expire on the halftime 10 minutes. But all in all, it could be a long second half, or it could be a quick second half. I think it's up to the Rams.
It's up to Mount Vernon. If Marion comes out here on this first possession and drives it down and scores quickly, I think you see a lot of wind go out of the sails, and then you go from there. I mean, it is a case of stepping up and making some plays for Mount Vernon and take care of that pigskin. And if you can do those two things, you might be able to get back in this ballgame. If you don't, Marion's going to put it down your throat and end this one pretty quickly.
Of course, I think one concern for the Rams has to be the health of Leonte Badger, as we see him on the sideline as the rest of the team's warming up. He's been plagued by leg cramps. He's reeled down a few big catches here today to keep the Rams going, but those leg cramps just seem to be bothering him.
Yeah, and it looks more maybe a calf issue, trying to stretch out the calves. Maybe something happened on a tackle on this soft turf that's rather spongy. You get some appendages stuck in the turf and whatever, and get turned a different way and maybe pull something, and that's what he's battling here. And unfortunately for the Rams, they just cannot catch a break right now. And sometimes not only catch a break, sometimes you got to make your own breaks, and that's at the stage where Mount Vernon's at right now.
Again, it'll be Marion football to start the second half, as we're about 2 minutes away from starting third quarter action for J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. Again, other games in the area today.
Other games. You got Alvarado at Vienna. That game is going to be close to starting here in a few minutes. That's the last of the Black Diamond games. One final that the game finished up this morning. Benton beats Murfreesboro 36-13. And then third, at the end of 3, it's CZR over Cesar-Valera Waltonville Woodlawn 20-14 in the Hyphen Bowl down there at Cesar-Valera High School right now.
Of course, that is a Tony Wilt scoreboard update. Plenty more of those coming. But look at Week 6. The Rams will welcome the 3-2 Carbondale Terriers. Altough and Marion will do battle. And Cahokia will travel to Centralia. The Comanches are surprising 2-3 on the year and 0-2 in the South 7 Conference. Looking at the River to River next week, Benton travels to West Frankfort. I believe that is a 2 o'clock start next Saturday. Herons at Harrisburg, Murphy's at Massac, Sparta's at Anna Jonesboro, DuQuoin at Carterville, Nashville at Pinckneyville. And in the BDC, Alvarado travels to Chester, CZR's at Hamco, Cesar-Valera's at Fairfield, El Dorado's at Johnson City on a Saturday, and Carmi's at Vienna also on a Saturday. So an intriguing week next week in football around the area.
Opportunities to go Friday night and Saturday afternoon for some very good games, especially probably maybe the marquee matchup, El Dorado at Johnston City next week. That one again, of course, DuQuoin Carterville renews their rivalry and has become a rivalry here the last few years at the turf in Carterville. You have to specify that now, DuQuoin having their turf. And, El Dorado Johnson City, to me, the premier game next week. Now, as far as Friday night games go, it's kind of a toss-up. You got, obviously DuQuoin Carterville will probably get a majority of the ink, but depending on what happens today, Nashville-Pinckneyville might be a matchup of something of importance.
And Pinckneyville starts back up at 1?
2 o'clock, and Nashville starts at 1.
I had them backwards. I was thinking Nashville is So it'll be intriguing to get a look at those final scores when they become available as well.
Yeah, that Pinckneyville game, they lead AJ 18-7. That's intriguing, the fact that can they hold on to the lead. They had a lot of momentum before the delays happened last night, and in Nashville, with a 14-7 lead over a Carterville team that has simply struggled all year, can Nashville at home keep that going? Of course, you got AJ and Carterville making 2 pretty long bus trips to Pinckneyville and Nashville. That will factor into it as well.
Of course, that's a big win today for the Benton Rangers. 4-1 on the year.
You go 4-1, and now you're going to be favored the next 2 weeks against West Frankfort and Massac. You should be 6-1 heading into the gauntlet of Harrisburg at home and at AJ.
Marion's to receive, looking to go onside, won't work out. It'll be picked up at about the 40-yard line by number 20, Brandon Switzer. No relation. And he gets to about the 41-yard line. So Marion has it 1st and 10 from their own 41, 3 seconds into this first half.
I think the onside kick there, if you're going to do that, you need to kick that ball hard and into somebody in the up front line for Marion. Bounce it off a shoulder pad, a leg, or something. That ball bounced around. That was almost like a ground ball in baseball. Very easy to handle, and Marion will start their own 40 in great field position for the Wildcats here.
Lewis will work out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Split, 2 on the left, 2 on the right. It'll be a man in motion. Handoff on the end around is going to go to Cedric Neal, looking to go up to the right side, 34-yard lines where he's pushed out of bounds. 44, rather.
Lost the ball, but he was out of bounds when he lost it. Got
So
5, ran 40 for 5 yards.
It's a gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 on the first play from scrimmage in the second half.
On the direct handoff, Marion trying to stretch the field to get their speed guys to the outside. Mount Vernon did a great job in the linebacking core to string that thing out.
Chilly day here in the King City, but a beautiful Saturday afternoon otherwise. Perfect football weather.
Nice to hear one of our people we know on his way to
game. Tuned in from Murfreesboro on the powerful AM 940. Now the shotgun, double back set, 3 wide. It's going to be Shaquille Ivey coming near side. He's at the 45. Gain of 1, flag on the play.
Well, we'll see if it's maybe a hold, face mask, one of those two things.
Of course, it's the top of the hour. We'll go ahead and pause for station identification. This is Rams Radio.
The best Rams broadcast coverage is right here. AM 940, WMIX Mount Vernon, and worldwide at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
Flag was a hold on Marion, so that's going to push them back 10 yards from the spot.
That's their 8th penalty of the game. That's one thing I'm sure Coach Martin and staff will definitely point out to their team, not only in film session, but in practice as well.
Go ahead and decline and take the loss of down. So it'll bring up 3rd. 3rd and 6.
White out tape is a wonderful thing, by the way.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yes.
So 11:40 to play here in the third quarter. 28-8, Marion on top. Starting the second half with the football. 3rd and 5 for the Wildcats, their own 45-yard line. Single back, shotgun set. With trips on the right side, loaded up for Marion. Lewis is going to play action, looking for Ivy in the flat. He's shut off. They're chasing after Lewis. It's going to be a dump pass towards the sideline.
Nobody home. There's nobody around that pass. Don't know how that's not intentional grounding, but
buried in the pocket even. And no flag. So it'll be 4th and 5 from the 45.
It's a good start. Good start. Stop Marion. Now build on that. Maybe get a quick score here and get back into this one.
We'll make sure this isn't going to be a little bit of trickery to repay the Rams. Brett Bradley is the punter. You may remember him as a starting quarterback for a couple of years for the Wildcats. Replaced by Matt Lewis. Back to receive Badger and Mitchell at about the 15, left and right respectively. Badger's going to let it bounce. He'll pick it up off a hop at about the 10. Riley's there. He shakes back, gets a good block in the back, and it'll be about the 20, dives to the 24. So made something out of nothing, got a good block out of a couple of his guys.
I'll tell you what, body language is a great thing because Badger kind of gave the impression he was just going to stand there and watch it bounce, and I think the Marion guys kind of let up, and he took it, and then they had to pick up speed, dodged 2 or 3, got to the outside, made about 15 yards. Did a great job of kind of baiting some defenders into thinking he wasn't going to do much with it.
1st and 10 for the Rams. They trail by 20 here at the 11-minute mark of this third quarter. Reeves is under center, split to the left. He will have Pat Bradford on the right, Leonte Badger in this double-wing set consisting of Lloyd and Mitchell. Mitchell's in the backfield, end around. Here it comes on a sweep. Looking left side. He's at the 30, 35 on the sideline, 40. Pushed out of bounds as we gain a 16, 1st and 10, barring the flag.
And that will come back 10 from the spot, so it'll be 1st and... Yep, blocking it back. That's 10. 1st and 8.
Yuck. Yep. Rams football, of course, as always, is presented by Banterra Bank. Don't bank on the away team. Bank for the locals. So Banterra, locally owned and operated. Banterra Bank. Banking with local style,
when
the
you're
official voice.
And when you're on the outside blocking like that one-on-one with a receiver on a corner or linebacker, you got to keep your feet moving. You got to keep your hands inside. And if that guy gets away from you, you can't touch him anymore. It's either going to be a hold or a block in the back. That time blocking the back. Once you lose contact with him front up, you got to let it go, even if your guy's not going to get to the corner.
28-8 the score. Marion on top. Rams will have 1st down and 6 after the penalty. They had 1st down yardage. Is going to be a handoff to Mitchell. This time he'll be tackled for a loss. The loss of about 4. Should bring up 2nd and 10.
Gosh, that was tough. Boy, Marion was right there. You can see number 54 for Marion that time. Michael Norris shed an offensive guard, threw him to the side, almost like one-handed, and went and got Gardner on the loss, or I should say Mitchell on the loss. Great one-on-one play to shed that blocker and go make a tackle.
The Rams will go right back at it. 2nd and 11, so they ruled that a loss of 5. Ball's on the 24-yard line. With Reeves back under center. Lloyd's in motion. Handoff to Lloyd. Trying to run off tackle, and he is pulled down by his face mask. 3 flags.
Here comes 15-yard variety. The way the running back from Mount Vernon spun around, that's got to be 15. Won't be the 5-yard touch and grin.
Personal foul against the
So it'll be
Wildcats.
1st and 10 for the Rams at the 39.
That's the 4th personal foul penalty on Marion today. Just some silly things done by Kerry Martin's defense here, and just something you don't see out of Kerry Martin coach football teams.
No, it's atypical.
First down.
This is not how they quote-unquote roll.
Personal foul.
10-15 to play here in the 3rd.
Hey, Scott Gamber's on it.
He's quick to point it out.
He is on it on the PA. Can't get anything past him or a bucket hat, either one.
No doubt about that. 28-8 the score. 10-10. That's a smiley face on an analog clock to go here in the 3rd quarter. 28-8 the score. Rams trying to come back. Reeves rolls to his right to pass. Looks to get rid of it. Has Strickland. Height disadvantage there. It's brought down in bounds. It'll be an interception for Marion. So John Evans comes away with it. Got the 1 foot down at about the 47-yard line. That's where Marion will take over in Ram territory.
That's amazing. Another turnover for Mount Vernon, the 4th one, and Marion has it again in great field position. They will have it at the Mount Vernon 47-yard line. Just something you can't do. Especially when you got 1st down, you can't do something like that and throw it away. And you're going to throw it away, throw it high enough, nobody get it.
Well, and Reeves had to throw off his back foot and threw a jump ball to Blake Strickland.
Off his back foot and threw it up there, and not a lot on it.
So
Pretty good play.
9:57 to go is when Marion takes over. We're in the 3rd quarter. Marion looking to add to this 20-point lead, up 28-8. Have it 1st and 10 in Ram territory to 47. Now the shotgun Lewis looking towards the trips on the right side as Cedric Neal looking to blaze at about the 20. Tipped away by Leonte Badger.
What a play. Badger went back there one-on-one on the fade. And I'm telling you right now, Badger went up there and he caught up with number 22 for Marion that time, number 22, Cedric Neal. And he was gone, and Badger made up some ground quickly and got a hand up and tipped it away.
Of course, you can watch Rams football online at mywithersradio.com on your Android smartphone or on your iPhone. And, of course, on your home computer, whether it's a Mac or a PC or Linux. 28-8 the score. Out of the shotgun, Lewis, empty backfield, looking to roll to his right side, gets past the far hash, connects with Justin Ivey at about the 43. He's still on his feet, looking far corner as he goes 25-20, no problem, brought down at the 17 or 18.
I'm hoping Ivy gets up there because that was kind of an awkward tackle, and Ivy comes up limp a little bit. Yeah, he got rolled up on there on that pass play, that tackle. Boy, I'm glad to see him up because that did not look pretty.
You not a fan of the Red Hat Linux?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I just caught me off guard. Kind of like we've done to each other here the first 5 weeks.
28-8 the score again out of the shotgun. Here we go. Marion. Matt Lewis rolls to his left side, finds Evans at about the 12, reeled down at about the 5. It'll be a gain of about 13, brings up 1st and goal. Nothing really surprised you anymore at this point. You know it?
No. Sometimes knowledge or lack of knowledge will carry you a long way, as they say, as Marion has it 1st and goal from the 5 at Mount Vernon.
That it will.
That's more stuff comes in from our listeners as we move on 1st and 5.
9:13 to go here. 1st and goal for the Cats. They have 5 yards to go before pay dirt.
It's important not to smoke those Linux things either. You know?
Offset eye for the Cats. Shaquille Ivy's not going to get it. It's going to be Cedric Neal. Rolls up left side. Finds a seam. Touchdown.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful run there by Cedric Neal, and it's going to be 34-8. Hoorah.
Yeah, well, that's a nice play. Counter play that time. Fake the handoff one way, get the line going another way. Counter play to Neal coming back to the weak side. Touchdown Marion. He went untouched.
I believe Harry Doyle would call that a je ne sais quoi.
Yes.
In the 3rd minor league movie. Or the 3rd
that
Major
3rd
League
one
movie.
wasn't very good. That was about the best thing in Major League 3.
That's why I said minor league.
Yes. Yeah. That was a bad idea. They should have stopped after 2.
Well, when what's his face from the Giants and not those Giants, he had the mini golf. Tanaka?
Yeah, Tanaka.
But the kick is up and it's good. 35-8. Which is your favorite Major League?
Number 1. It's hard to beat Wesley Snipes and Chero and all them all together
Omar
at
Epps
once.
did an okay job in the second as Willie Mays Hayes,
Yeah.
but Wesley Snipes was pretty clutch.
Yeah.
What's her? Oh, Margaret Whitten, is that her name?
Yeah.
That played, the owner. Corbin
the
Burnson.
owner.
Corbin
the
Burnson
owner.
was pretty cool in the first one, but a kind of a weenie in the second one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom Berenger was clutching all of them, though. All the ones he was in, anyway. Scott Bakula had a little Jungle Karma with him, but it still wasn't very good. Not that my opinions on entertainment matter at this point. 35-8 is your score here on Rams football. 8:59 to play in the third quarter. And the Rams, again, silver lining as they get the ball back. Not sure how long that could be.
It's probably why Wesley Snipes should have stayed in Major League 2 and 3 in his current
Wesley
state.
Snipes, given his
exercise machine
outside off the camera issues, probably should have been contacting Heartland County.
Yes,
they'll bring you the post game stats.
Yeah,
for the Bean Insurance post game show. 35-8 the score here in the third quarter. Marion on top, kicking off, back to receive. Hunter leaps toward at the 5. Gets to the 10, coming near side, near hash at the 20. Looks to break to the 25, coming near sideline, cuts back towards the hash at the 30, where he's brought down. It'll be a return of 25 for Derek Hunter. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Rams.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports. Like us on Facebook, WMIX Sports. You can find updates exclusively from us.
Dropping the phone. It's kind of contagious.
Don't drop that. That's our updating machine.
That thing is getting its money's worth.
School server blocks me from Facebook and Twitter, so I can't do anything on the laptop.
Have gone to that lately.
Can't fathom why.
Yeah, I can fathom.
Well,
from
split
the educator
left
standpoint,
is Bradford. Split to the right, Badger. Your tailback is Dominic Gardner with a man in motion. Travis Mitchell takes a handoff. It's going to be a reverse. C.J. Lloyd coming up near side. 25 fumbles the football. 35 rather.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
Take these shades off. They're spotty.
5th Mount Vernon turnover. 4 fumbles and an interception. Simply got the ball ripped out from him. Nothing major, just a hand on the ball in the pool. That was it. You have got to take care of better football.
Right, that's the thing, Danny. It's none of it's been like one of your atypical strips. They've all been just quick punches on the football or whatever, just because they're not held on tightly enough, and that's how most of the fumbles have occurred here this morning.
Yeah. And Mount Vernon's got nobody to blame but themselves, because that's something there. And when you're in traffic with the football, you have got to take care of the football much better than what Mount Vernon has done today.
So it'll be 1st and 10 Wildcats from the Ram 35. They get good field position off of the turnover, up 35-8 here in this third quarter. Rams football, of course, presented by Banterra Bank. Don't get sacked. Take control of your healthcare expenses with a tax-advanced health savings account. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC. Kevon Fortney in attendance as well.
Yeah.
Good to see a lot of former Rams here today. Lewis out of the shotgun, has the flat wide open and Cedric Neal. Instead goes to number 13, Brett Bradley. So they're finding alternate roles for Brett Bradley here this season.
Well, it's one of those deals, Chris, where as a player, if you lose your primary position you want to play, you better find something else to do. And that's what Bradley's done, made himself into a receiver. And that would be the 6th guy that Lewis has found to throw to today for Marion.
Gain of 3 will bring up 2nd down and 7.
So Lewis empty backfield out of the shotgun. 2 left, 2 right.
That has to be a false start on the receiver.
Yeah.
Didn't call it. Screen.
Looking for Neal, and a great tackle by Bradford for a loss as Cedric Neal popped up at about the 37-yard line. And he's brought down.
That play didn't go anywhere. Actually, Marion should have been called for a false start on the receiver, because once he got set out there, he moved his feet. Switched it from left foot lead to right foot lead, and you can't do that. However,
the penalty for catching the football is almost equal. As he loses 4, it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah.
So there we go.
That's probably why the flag wasn't thrown.
So instead of moving back 5, keeping the down, you lose it down, lose 4, it's 3rd and 11. And Marion wants a timeout. This timeout presented by Ford Square and King City Chrysler Center of Mount Vernon. You can count on us. King City Chrysler Center has the all-new Dodge Durango with best-in-class power, towing, and driving range. It's where the best never rest. King City Chrysler Center, 1603 Broadway, Mount Vernon. 7:35 to play here in this third quarter. 35-8, Marion on top, looking to roll with the football. They'll have 3rd and 11 from their Ram 36 when they come back out of the timeout. What a game we've had here today, though. Marion and Mount Vernon both look ugly at times just because of penalties and turnovers, and we have a score update coming.
Yep. The update is that the winner of the Hyphen Bowl this year is CZR. They have defeated Cesar-Valera Waltonville Woodlawn 26-20. My, oh, my. That's one that Cesar-Valera led when they went to break and now lose. So Benton won with the lead when they went home, and then Cesar-Valera had the lead when they went home but lost it.
So Cesar's hopes of winning the Hyphen Bowl are dashed by the CZR comeback.
Yep. Nice.
And that scoreboard update is brought to you by Tony Wilt State Farm Insurance. For all your insurance financial service needs, it's Tony Wilt, 42nd and South Water Tower Place, right here in Mount Vernon. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Lewis out of the shotgun, looking fade. It's a flag route by Cedric Neal. Catches it at the 10. 5, touchdown. He's out of breath on that one. It's going to be 41-8. Beautiful play from Lewis to Cedric Neal.
Boy, I tell you what, this Marion offense, they quick strike you.
They will, and we are a touchdown away from a running clock.
Yep. Actually.
So if it comes running clock, those needing
an extra point or a touchdown, 41, some difference. Just
not
working out.
Just need a touchdown, an extra point after this.
Yeah.
Just a touchdown after this.
Yep.
There's a bevy of former Rams in attendance as the kick is up and good. Trevani Badger, of course. Daryl Mitchell, Brian Sipe, Kevon Portney, among others. Brian Gamber's here. Tom Portner's here. So he's not winning the Skins game somewhere, apparently.
Probably too wet to play.
That's why I was kind of wondering about the Orphan Invite today, if they'd get that in, the golf team.
I would say they'd probably play, just to play it.
If they're at Greenview, you never know. They do a good job.
I haven't played there yet this year. Plan to go out there, though.
I know a guy, so that's why I say that.
It's getting to that time of year where it turns fall, and your summer golfers put their clubs up, and people like me play year-round still play, so it's nice.
I'm sure they probably got it in. Rams do play well up there at Greenview as well. So we'll see how they did. Woodlawn's up there, I believe.
Yep. How about that? Scott Gamber reading it for ICANN. 17-21 is Matt Lewis in this game for Marion.
Dang.
For 265 yards, something ridiculous.
17-21, right?
17-21.
Holy cow.
Yep.
It's a good day at the office.
But that can happen, though, when you throw short, dumpy passes. That one was obviously a flag pattern. That's 20 yards. But still, you're not throwing bombs and fades.
Right.
You're getting it out to your skill guys. It's not Kerry Martin's first rodeo.
Nope, and here comes the kick to Derek Hunter. Looking to break towards the near side at the 30. Got it about the 8. 35 is where he'll get. About the 37. And C.J. Lloyd is down at about the 32.
Yeah, and not moving.
And Kerry Martin's going to check on him.
The 38-yard line.
7:18 to play here in the third quarter. 42-8 is your score. Marion's on top by 34. A touchdown pushes it to a running clock. And Kerry Martin of the Orthopedic Center, Kerry Hammond of the Orthopedic Center is checking on C.J. Lloyd.
Yeah.
Players, of course, will all take a knee on the sideline and on the field. Of course, Rams football presented by Banterra Bank. With Banterra cell phone banking, you can check your accounts online right from half court. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. And so they are going to take a good look at C.J. Lloyd.
Yeah, they're telling the teams to go to the sidelines. This will be, unfortunately, we hope everything's okay, but it looks like a little bit of a delay.
So we will not speculate or anything like that. Just hope for the best with C.J. Lloyd as he's down on the field. Looking ahead, of course, to week 6, not to make light of the situation, not pay attention to the situation. We don't really want to talk about it and worry anybody that may not need to be worried, but we'll wait on that. A lot of big action coming up week 6, of course, the River-to-River Conference, especially that big matchup between Benton and West Frankfort. Frankfort 1-4 on the year, Benton 4-1, so kind of the reciprocating records there. And that one will be at West Frankfort this year. And that's a game they moved to Saturday afternoon, Danny, and probably a good move. So those two teams who used to play on Thanksgiving Day can get a little afternoon daylight action.
Well, and Benton and Frankfort, such a rivalry in lots of things that, they decide to move that game. You got to give Athletic Director Gladys at Frankfort and Athletic Director Ryan Miller at Benton a lot of credit for moving that game to the afternoon has drawn some big crowds both at West Frankfurt's Johnson Field and at Tabor Field in Benton. Great crowds, great atmosphere. People get together, they tailgate, they party, to have fun. Wonderful time, and Benton and Frankfurt made the good decision to move it to that situation.
Of course, then also in the River to River, you have Heron at Harrisburg next week in a battle of 4-1s, and both are atop the conference at 2-0.
That will be interesting.
That's a huge matchup between Rich Rod and Little Roper.
Yeah, and again, those two teams, most people look to that game as far as the Conference Ohio Division move is, here is the thing. It is a case that Heron and Harrisburg usually battle well in the Ohio Division. Those two teams again will have an opportunity here in this third quarter, in this part of the season. I say third quarter, looking out here at the scoreboard, but again, in this part of the season, week 6, Heron and Harrisburg, maybe the Ohio Division title on the line.
Well, and of course, you look at Murfreesboro and Massac, and Murfreesboro did fall today to the Benton Rangers, so they were going in 1-3. They're now 1-4. So that's a battle of 1-4 teams, both 0-2 in the River to River Ohio Division, and that's going to be a big win for either team.
Right. And again, you said it all there. Really not much to say. If you get a big win, this time of year, at this point, you're trying to rack up wins. You're going to get to 6. A lot of these teams have to get to 6. And the more you get, the better off you are. Of course, you're playing for seeds as well. The more wins, the higher your seeding is.
Well, then, of course, taking a look at the South 7 next week, we're talking games in week 6. C.J. Lloyd, a sophomore running back for the Rams, down at about the 32-yard line. Medical personnel are treating to him, and it looks as if he will have to come off on a stretcher. Mm-hmm. So we'll not speculate, but hope that everything turns out well for C.J. Lloyd, a good young man, good young running back for the Rams. Looking at the South 7 next week, Altoff at Marion. And again, depending on what happens here today, for all intents and purposes, we assume that perhaps Marion's going to probably come out of this one with the victory. And so Altoff will wait to see what happens with them in Centralia tonight. That could be a potential South 7 conference crown match right there.
Speaking of Marion, they are over. The players are called each other together. They are actually praying on the sideline together. The whole team, some of the coaches, they are actually together praying themselves over on the sideline. Something very cool you don't see a lot of times in any kind of sport, but very good sportsmanship over there by Marion right now.
Well, and I know it's certainly appreciated. And one of those times where you hate to see this happen to anybody, obviously. Anybody that has a heart or a soul doesn't want to see that happen to anybody. So they're going to be very careful and take care and tend to the needs of C.J. Lloyd at the moment, who is down right now, the Mount Vernon Ram running back who was injured on the kickoff return after the Marion touchdown. Altoff at Marion, of course, a big game next week in week 6. Cahokia at Centralia is huge because the Orphans have beaten Cahokia once, but just once. And so, and Mike McManus said on the Saturday Sports this morning, Ray Calling just in disbelief that's the way it is, and looking to change that in Centralia.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that this game for Centralia tonight, Altoff, huge. If you could go over there and win, man, the momentum for Centralia runs out the rest of the year. You can really get something done. But, right on the cusp of something big going on in Centralia year after year after year with Ray Calling is what's happening in Centralia right now. But again, if they, it'll be tough for them to play Altoff on the road Saturday and come back and try to get Cahokia Friday at home. Tough part of the schedule for the Orphans right now. And then come back the next week with Marion and then Mount Vernon. Very difficult stretch for Centralia to go through that part of the schedule.
And, of course, Carbondale comes to Mount Vernon. They're 3-2. Got a win yesterday over Cahokia on their home field. Of course, you heard from Coach Dan Custer this morning on the Saturday Sports Show. And a big win for his program. Of course, his son, Cade, he made no bones about it, the leader of that team. And they're expecting big things out of them and getting it.
Yeah, I mean, that was a huge win. I mean, again, a lot of these streaks, a lot of these things that the Cahokia and Altoff has done in football since they came into the South 7 Conference, starting to go by the wayside little by little, one thing after another. And the Southern Illinois schools, Mount Vernon, Marion, Carbondale, and Centralia starting to peck away at that domination as we go along through the years.
Well, and then you take a look at the Black Diamond next week. Alvarado Trico is at Chester. I believe they're both 1-4. Or no, Alvarado Trico hasn't played yet. Shame on me. They're at Vienna today. But Alvarado Trico 1-3. Chester's 1-4. And Chester, I hate to say this, but Chester by some seen as somewhat having a disappointing season.
Yeah, Chester, had a lot of expectations. I did not have a lot of the same expectations that Chester that a lot of other people did, but Chester coming in, again 1-4. They lost last night at home against Johnson City 22-7. But a Chester team, a lot of young players starting out in varsity, and again, it is such a transition to move from the Monday, Thursday night lights to the Friday night lights. Big difference playing, and some of those young kids at Chester are learning that. And you see a hand being held up by the injured Mount Vernon Ram player, letting everybody know he's okay.
So C.J. Lloyd gives a thumbs up. He'll come off on the stretcher, of course, and then be taken by ambulance. So we certainly hope for the best for C.J. Lloyd, the sophomore, but he's trying to fight him, it looks like.
Yeah,
that's a good sign.
The EMTs are always never happy when the patient laying there keeps raising arms and legs up.
And that is a good sign. And here's what you don't want to speculate, but my guess, the kids aren't necessarily scared of Carrie Hammond. But
he's holding the thumbs up again.
But when she talks, they listen. So I guarantee you she's like, stay still, kid, and don't move.
Yeah, he's holding the thumbs up with his right hand.
So thankfully that is hopefully a good sign. And, of course, we'll do what we can to help let you know of his condition, as well as we'll ask to be updated on that. And certainly a good young man, and future looking very, very promising here at Mount Vernon High School, and hopefully everything will turn out all right.
It's the grim reality of the sport. It's a very physical, violent sport. And a lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes this will happen. Now, you rev up and have to play a sport so aggressively, and then you got to watch somebody from both sides that you're competing with or against go down like this and get carted off. Now, as the rest of the players have to build themselves back up to try to get back to where they were after this injury, takes some time, and it kind of shakes you a little bit. So we'll see how both teams come about here after this play.
Of course, where the action stopped, 7:18 mark of the third quarter. Marion leads Cahokia 42-8. Rams will have the football 1st and 10 from their own 38. This happened on a kickoff return. Lloyd was injured at about the 31-yard line of devious hit. Nothing unsportsmanlike about it, just a hard hit, and took the brunt of it. But the Rams start with the football. Split left, it'll be Pat Bradford on the right, Leonte Badger with Reeves under center. So we'll have different running backs in here, so C.J. Lloyd was critical. Grider's a new back. It'll be a handoff to Travis Mitchell, who, if he's given forward progress, will have a no-gainer.
Handoff to Travis Mitchell, short gain on the play.
Forward progress, maybe we can get him a short gain.
Yep. Maybe about one. Pushed in there, had some momentum.
6:55 to play in the third quarter. Rams trail Marion 42-8 here in this South 7 Conference matchup. Next week, again, Marion hosts Althoff. The Rams have Carbondale in their 5th of 6 home games this season. Tailback now is Blake Strickland. Otherwise, same personnel. And then under center, it's Clayton Reeves with Grider in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Strick up the middle. Gets about 4 on the play. Between the hashes, still up. And forward progress on a dive will carry him for about 11 yards. So it'll be 1st and 10 as Blake Strickland gets to about the 49-yard line.
Wow, Blake Strickland got all that. A lot of effort. Kept those legs churning, kept pushing off tacklers, and did a great job to get a first down. Mount Vernon moving the ball once again. That hasn't been a problem. Mount Vernon officially, by my count, 17 first downs. Has been the fumbles and then the turnovers. 4 fumbles and an interception.
Doing what they need to do. Reeves under center. This time it'll be a handoff coming up the right side. Looked like it was Grider.
It's a new number because it's too white to be a guy that's been in there a while, And that's who it was.
Off tackle right side. Gain of 6 will bring up 2nd and 4 here in Marion territory.
And Marion, even with the big lead, they're still got their starters in. And Mount Vernon's still able to run the football very easily here, especially up the middle. The 1, 2, 3 gaps, 1, 2, 3, and 4 gaps. Just run the ball. A and B not being covered by Marion at all here in this game.
5:40 to play in the third quarter. Bradford left, Badger right as far as the split ends. Tailback will be Robert Grider, and we'll have a timeout as the play clock struck 0. The timeout's brought to you by Ford Square, King City Chrysler Center in Mount Vernon, where the best never rest. And, of course, you can count on Ford Square and King City Chrysler Center. Ford Fiesta, of course, up to 40 miles per gallon highway. It's kind of like a party for your gas mileage.
It will be.
It is, literally.
And they get some pretty good gas mileage. Those cars can flat out rate gas mileage, that's for sure.
No kidding.
As we wait on this timeout from Mount Vernon, the first of the half, both teams have used 1 timeout in the half. as we move along here, and you hear the beeping of the ambulance backing up down the front stretch of the track here at Mount
And
Vernon High School.
at least you know, if it were a bigger concern, the ambulance would have taken off a long time ago.
Yeah, the ambulance would have flown out of here.
Right. So hopefully everything's just for preventative and precautionary measures with the ambulance and the health of C.J. Lloyd. Under center, Clayton Reeves here, 5:30 mark of this third quarter. Rams trailing 42-8, 2nd and 4 from the Marion 45. Handoff's going to go to Derek Hunter, looking to break towards the near side. He's pushed back at about the 45. No gain. It'll be 3rd and 4.
Yeah.
Who will be your Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game? I'll tell you what, the kid who just left in the ambulance was probably your lead contender. Support your Mount Vernon Rams with a Ram debit card from Community First Bank. Community First Bank is the only bank with debit cards tied to the Rams, with a portion of the revenue going to Mount Vernon High School. So split left and right. 3rd and 4 here for the Rams, and the Rams will be have a
one
false
jumped,
start.
another one jumped. That'll be a false start. 3rd penalty of the day for Mount Vernon for 20 yards.
So make that 3rd and 9 now from midfield.
That hurts.
Ball is spotted on the near hash.
A little further to go now.
Now it's a little bit it's easier to get 4 than 9. Of course, it's the bottom of the hour. We'll take care of that shortly, as it's 31 minutes past 1 o'clock here in the Central Time Zone. Man in motion will be a fade pass coming near side, and pushing his man was Leonte Badger. So that pass will be incomplete.
A great defensive play. Badger wanted to kick the Jets in and go get that pass. And Jay Riley, a safety cornerback for Marion, just kind of slowed down in front of him. Didn't knock him down or anything. Didn't impede the progress. Just impeded his progress.
Of course, there's a flag at midfield.
Unsportsmanlike against Mount Vernon. That'll be 15 yards back the other way. Now wait a minute. It would be 4th down, so we'll see. Marion declines her and moves him back, makes him go again. They're elected to move him back.
Interesting. So it'll be 3rd and 24.
Field position thing.
Actually, I forgot, lost it down. My bad. 4th and 24.
Yeah. Yep.
.4:30 to play here in the 3rd quarter. 4th and 24 for the Rams. Joel Duncan is here. That means the soccer match is over.
Yep. Oh.
And Duncan will send it to Justin Ivey at the 30. So pretty good punt. The marker is down, and Ivey's still on his feet, looking to rush towards the right side. 35-40. Gets to the sideline at the midfield. Wow, levels Mr. Armstrong as he goes out of bounds. And there's a flag at midfield.
Yeah, it was a hand-to-hand more combat going on to 50-yard line, pushing it back on Marion. Yeah. So that will go back 10.
So they were at past midfield, and now they're coming way back. Of course, we'll go ahead and pause for station identification. This is Rams Radio.
The best Rams broadcast coverage is right here. AM 940 WMIX Mount Vernon and worldwide at mywithersradio.com. A free service from Withers Broadcasting.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats after the holding penalty with 4:17 to go in the 3rd quarter. 42-8, Marion on top. Chris Hugo with Danny Czerwinski here on WMIX. We are online with video coverage at mywithersradio.com. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Marion 40 for the Wildcats, who, Danny, if they can score one more touchdown, hit pay dirt one more time, it becomes a running clock.
The running clock.
This game started out pretty close. Rams had the opportunity to tie and then fumbled at the 2. It's going to be a handoff to Logan Hunt, looking to break to the far side, gets to the 45 for a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5 on the 45 with 4:05 left to go.
Interesting to see if Marion elects to keep it on the ground or if they decide to pass to try to get that running clock.
Well, they brought Brett Bradley in at quarterback, so they're going to test the waters, but I would assume they're still going to try for a running clock. But this is good here. You get some of your reserves in, like Brandon Switzer, who's going to line up in the left slot.
Yeah.
In addition to your kicker, number 8, who's not on the roster. Here comes a handoff near side. Troy Slinkard on his feet, gets to near midfield, near side, past the hash. It'll be a gain of 3 to bring up 3rd and 1. Also into the ball game for the Wildcats, Drew Johnson. Split in and defensive back. And the clock will roll below the 3-minute mark here on this possession. Third and 1, ball is on the 49 shy midfield for the Wildcats. It's going to be a direct handoff to Logan Hunt right up the middle. Gets first down yardage plus some as he scampers to the 47 between the hashes.
Yep.
It'll be 1st and 10 Cats on that 4-yard run by Mr. Hunt.
Well, I would say, the way it looks, Marion's going to be content to run the football. I think the passing has been put up for the day.
Either way, the clock will continue to run.
Oh, yeah.
Whether they score or whether they run.
Brett Bradley, now in a quarterback for the Wildcats.
Whenever there's time, there's 2 more updates.
All right, we'll get to that. Now they're looking to pass. Connect to Logan Hunt. Right side at about the 45 rather. Pulls it down to the 40. It's a gain of 7 to bring 2nd and 3.
So a couple updates from around the area. Into 1, Vienna leads Eldorado Trico 14-0. Of course, CZR beats SVWW 26-20. Benton beats Murfreesboro 36-13. And in the 4th, Carterville leads Nashville 21-14. Carterville trailed when they left Nashville last night. Now they lead.
Interesting. I wonder what the Cardinal score is.
1-0 Cubs in the 6th.
What about the Braves?
Down 4-0 in the 7th.
There you go. This is going to be a pass, quick pass to the near side for Hunt. Brought down by his neck.
Not a penalty.
No flag, so he lost about 3, maybe 4, could be 5.
Wonderful day here. Fall is here. Football's here.
It's a Heartland Football Saturday, I know that.
Oh, stop.
What? Oh,
stop.
I wasn't even thinking about that.
I was.
Of course you were.
Exactly.
1:42 to go here in the 3rd quarter. I was going to segue into something until you said that. Thank you. Here comes. On the near, no, not I'm welcome. It's Danny Gooch catches it and reels it down to about the 30 for a gain of 15. I was going to segue into our Heartland Accounting postgame stats coming up the Bean Insurance postgame show. Thank you.
When you mentioned that other rhythm into kind of flush.
Well, obviously that's in the back of my mind, but not because of that reason.
Yeah. Well, Marion, I guessed wrong. Marion now putting the pass back into play, and they continue to march the ball down the field here.
1:30 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Marion's up 42-8. Brett Bradley working out of the shotgun here. Loads up on the left side. Split to the left, of course, is Drew Johnson. Switzer's in there. And it's going to be a handoff to Henry Jones. He'll come up between the hashes. Will be a gain of about 2 to the 3. Wow, they're going to give him a really good spot on that one. That is a gain of about 3. Gain of 6 even.
Wow, that is a big spot.
I saw him get to about the 25.
Yeah.
They're going to spot him at the 22. That's why I'm baffled and flustered. So it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Cats from the Mount Vernon 22-yard line at the 39-second mark of this 3rd quarter. Bradley works out of the shotgun. His lone back is Henry Jones. Man in motion is going to be, doesn't matter because it's going to go to Jones. He's going to try to break for the right side at the 20. Shifts the man at about the 15. Stays on his feet out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. That's a 15-yard gain on the ground out of bounds. Stops the clock at the 25-second mark. That'll be 1st and 10, 1st and goal for the Cats.
17th first down for Marion in this game, and they have been very efficient on their drives. They continued no huddle today. Did not mean in a huddle at all today in this dominating performance.
Gain of 15 on the play will give the Wildcats a 1st down.
1st and goal from the Rams 7. It's the Wildcats looking to make it 48-8. The magic number. Bradley's going to hand off to Jones again. Jones looks to go right side, gets past the hash and past the Rams defensive line. It'll be a touchdown into the far corner. So it's 48-8 as we await the point after attempt. Rams football course presented by Banterra Bank. Whether retirement is years or months away, open a retirement account that fits your lifestyle perfectly. Banterra Bank, banking with local style, member FDIC. Of course, those scores from a moment ago were presented by Tony Wilton State Farm Insurance. For all of your insurance and financial service needs, visit your local State Farm agent Tony Wilt on 42nd Street and South Water Tower Place in Mount Vernon, or online, TonyWilt.com. Walk in, call in, or click in. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Still have a 4th quarter coming at you. Be a continuous clock as the kick is up. Looks good. It's 49-8. 7 touchdowns today for the Wildcats, 6 of them offensive, 1 defensive.
They've looked impressive, even when they brought in. The only thing has been their penalties, but boy, they have looked impressive other ways today. That is for sure. The penalties have been an issue for them, but other than that, they've been okay. Very impressive. After they kind of like they shook the cobwebs to get out, but racking up well over 400 yards of total offense, moving along here.
Of course, Marion will kick off. 19 seconds to go here in the third quarter. 49-8 is the score. And the Rams have yet to take the field. There they go. Break the huddle.
This Marion team, as they get out of conference, will play Heron for the final time of Week 9. They will not play next year in Williamson County. Heron electing to play AJ, who Benton dropped AJ to play Carlisle, and then Marion will have to find somebody else.
It bounces to Gardner at about the 25 between the hashes, coming near side, 30-35, gets to the 40, runs into his man, Carson Cash. Cash was money on trying to hold on to him. Pushed him out of bounds, and it'll be 43-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Rams in their own territory. 10.5 second mark of this third quarter. Follow us on Twitter at 94 Sports or like us on Facebook, WMIX Sports. Two very easy options. Reeves is under center for the Rams. Split left Bradford, on the right Badger. Your backs are Gardner, Mitchell, and Jake Williamson, and we're going to have a flag on the play.
5 yards on Marion. The nose tackle, which I have never understood in the game of football. Why should a nose tackle jump off sides when the ball's right in front of his face?
And just like that, we have reached the end of the third quarter, so that penalty will give the Rams 1st and 5 when we come back. After 3, it's the Marion Wildcats 49, the Mount Vernon Rams 8. This is Rams football on WMIX.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins at Community First Bank. If you're looking for a bank with stability, integrity, and a growing presence in Jefferson County, I invite you to stop by and open an account with us. We have free checking, safe deposit boxes, free internet banking, and debit cards tied to our local schools. We also have lenders with the ability to make decisions about your needs. We understand that not every person or business falls within some loan underwriting model, but where character still matters. For all of your banking needs, Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Jeff Schmidt. You know where to go to see the hard-to-find Chevrolet Equinox. Schmidt Chevrolet in Mount Vernon. Equinox has been the Consumer Digest Best Buy for 2 years in a row. It's the most efficient crossover on the road and gets 32 miles per gallon highway. Equinox is a top safety pick, which is important for you and your family. The Equinox is one of the hottest sellers of Schmidt, and we'll find the one that's just right for you. Come see us. Our professional sales staff can't wait to speak to you. Nobody will treat you better than Schmidt Chevrolet in Mount Vernon, 3423 Broadway in Mount Vernon, Illinois.
This is your home for Rams Radio, WMIX.
And welcome back, J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. It's the fourth quarter, got underway a little early. Running clock action here from J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium as the Rams trail the Marion Wildcats 49-8. You missed a loss of 1 on the run by the Rams there, and it's going to be 2nd and 6 here. It was a 1st and 5 situation because of the offsides on Marion in that third quarter. And so now we're going to have some new faces in new places here. Split left will be West Song. And it's going to be a run to Doug Gardner here as he goes up that right side. Dominique by trade, Doug to his friends. Gardner gets a good run out of that one. 1st down yardage plus some as he gets to the 41-yard line in Marion territory. So 3, 9, 12-yard run.
Well, it's going to, again, unless something drastically changes with the running clock, Mountains Vernon is going to drop to 0-5, out of playoff contention.
And it's not over yet. 4 and 5 is a possibility.
Not if you don't win the conference.
I thought you could still get any if you don't win the
conference.
If there weren't enough.
The only 2 teams last 15 years around here I know have gotten in were Dupont and Freeburg, and they both won the conference going 4 and 5 in Cahokia.
Okay. We'll see if there's not enough 5 and 4 teams. Here it comes to Doug Gardner. He'll go up that right side, past the hash, down to about the 38. Refuse to lose. Never stop believing. Anything's possible except 3 and 6.
4 and 5 is not very.
It's highly unlikely.
Not the way the cutoffs are, or not the way the wins are.
It's highly unlikely.
It's unlikely. How about that?
Well,
I'm just telling you the way it is, the way the cutoffs have been, and the way the teams have gotten in last few years. The 8-class system pretty well knocks that 4 and 5 stuff out, unless you can somehow win a conference that record.
Be that as it may, 2nd and 6 here, 37-yard line for the Rams in Marion territory. 9:57 to play in this continuous clock game. It's going to be a quick pitch coming left side for Travis Mitchell to the 40, 35, 30 at the near sideline. Cuts back to the 20. And it'll be a gain of 17 for Travis Mitchell to bring up 1st and 10 for the Rams.
Now, Mount Vernon's been able to move the ball. Unofficial, I've got 19 first downs, so that's not been the issue. Hanging on to the football and doing some other things has been the problem. And you go back on the Marion 2 when that fumble happened, we could have took the lead. That was the whole ball game right there because the momentum completely changed and went the other way.
You look back and wonder what may have been.
Yes.
Reeves is under center. Split left and right, and it's going to be a handoff or reverse even to Jake Williamson from Travis Mitchell to be a loss of 2. So it'll be 2nd and 12 here for the Rams at the 21-yard line. So it looks like they're going with Zane Young and Wes Song as split ends. Both of those young men are juniors.
A lot of youth in this Mount Vernon program right now.
That's what they're doing, kind of testing the water to see what they got.
You got to. At this point in the stage, you got to see what you got. Other players are going to be back.
And it's going to be a quick handoff to Gardner to the 15, 10, down to about the 5 as he ran right up the gut. Mount Vernon's been able to run up the middle today, and at the 8:30 mark, it'll be 1st and goal from the 6, so a 16-yard gain for Gardner.
Yeah, that's all day. And I'm sure this will be a curious tape for some to look at. They'll see the blowout score and not learn much, but future opponents for Marion are going to learn you can run up the middle on Marion.
49-8 your score, Marion on top. Rams looking to get a touchdown here, 1st and goal from the 6. Reeves is under center. Man in motion will be Mitchell, but they'll hand off to Gardner. He is going to be stuffed at about 3, but keeps pushing his way. About the 1. Wow. We'll see where they actually spot the ball and where they stop the forward progress.
Legs churning. A couple of black-shirted guys, helping you out, pushing a little bit, that secretly go in there and look like they're blocking a Marion guy, and they're blocking you forward. So, it is what it is. You do what you got to do.
7:39 to play here in the ball game, and the Rams are threatening here. 2nd and goal from the 1. Reeves under center. Song will be split left. Zane Young split right. Mitchell wing back, as is Jake Williamson. It's going to be a handoff to Mitchell. He's going to come around on a sweep near corner. Gets 1 foot in. That's all he needs. Plus the ball across the plane, and it's going to be 49-14.
Yep. Has lots of points today. Lots of points in Week 5, not only in Southern Illinois, but especially the mid part of the state. Several games topped 100 total point mark up just north of us last night.
Since about 1996, the Rams owned this series with the Wildcats, losing only in 2001 before Marion started a streak of winning, I believe, 3 of 6 since 2006. That was just kind of the year it all came together for the Marion Wildcats. The extra point is no good, so it remains 49-14, 7:19 to play here in the ball game.
7:19 remaining. Marion 49, Mount Vernon 14.
Rams football presented by Banterra Bank. Banterra's online banking is convenient, efficient, and best of all, safe. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC.
Across the way, under 3 minutes to go in Washington County, the Hornets trail Carterville 21-14, but they do have the ball and are driving, currently on a 1st down.
Interesting.
The only other game in the area going to start here in about 12 minutes. The delayed variety is Anna Jonesboro at Pinckneyville at Quilman Field. The Panthers lead that one 18-7 as they start the 3rd quarter at Pinckneyville.
Will it remain that way? I guess we'll have to see.
And then, of course, Centralia versus Althoff at Belleville West tonight. A couple sets of eyes in this booth will be out there watching that one. Very intriguing.
Very intriguing. Ready to see how that one's going to go down.
I haven't been to the Belleville West facility in quite some time. Saw Mount Vernon play in a Thanksgiving time tournament.
What? Yeah, here comes an onside kick, and Marion's going to try to grab it far side at about the 42. Rams gave it an effort at 7:13 mark.
Haven't been to that school since they opened it. I was there for basketball one year. Great gym.
I've been there for baseball.
Yep.
That's about it.
Good facilities.
Not bad. I got to see it up close and personal tonight.
Yeah.
6:50 to play in this fourth quarter. 49-14 is your score. Marion's going to win this one and improve to 4-1.
Marion next week hosts Althoff. That's an intriguing game.
That will be as well.
Then Marion and Centralia week 6, week 7. Not sure where that one's at though.
And it's going to be a run by number 21, Troy Slinkard, up the gut for about a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9 from about the 44-yard line. Clock will continue to run. It's a continuous clock game due to the 40-point differential that was had when it was 49-8. 49-14 now. The Rams within 35.
This is the sophomore preview game.
Oh, exactly.
Right. For it is played Monday night in Marion.
We'll see this 2 years from now.
Yes, we will.
Quite possibly. And it'll be a handoff now to Logan Hunt, looking to come near side. Found a seam about midfield, 45-40. Gets to the 35, pushed out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. They're going to give him the 29. Holy cow, he was out at about the 33, so he gets a 4-yard generous spot on that one.
Well,
it'll be 1st and 10 cast. Not like it really matters at this point. I mean, it does, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. 1:17 to go in the game. 1st and 10 for the Hornets at the Lion 46. They need a touchdown to tie, extra point to tie.
Interesting. The Bees and the Cats doing battle there in Washington County. Quarterback Carson Cash out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Man in motion will be Brandon Switzer, no relation. He'll go up the left side, finds a nice seam, had some running room. It tripped up over his own 2 feet, then ran into his own man. So that'll be a gain of about 5 down to the 25-yard line for 2nd and 5.
We have volleyball next week. Tuesday at home against Carbondale and Thursday at Centralia.
You betcha.
And then Friday home against Carbondale. So 3 broadcasts next week.
Pretty busy week for us here on WMIX and online at mywithersradio.com. All the games will have video next week except for that volleyball match in Centralia.
It's the way it should be. When it starts school year and it starts athletics, it's the way it should be. Keep us busy.
We'll drop below the 4:30 mark on this play. Cash out of the shotgun. Hurries a handoff to Slinkard up that left side. Trying to break to the sideline. Got down to about the 20. Where it looked like West Song lowered the boom. So it could be 1st down yardage. May not be. Yeah, it'll be 1st down yardage. So actually a gain of 6. So down to the 19. So they're in the red zone now here with 4:15 to play here in the fourth quarter. 49-14. Will Marion tack on another? Cash gets it out of the shotgun. It's going to be a quick handoff to Logan Hunt. As I look down, I don't think it was really a handoff, but Hunt came around right to left and got a few yards on the play. Either my perspective is horrible or the spots are favorable. Or
spots are getting to a point, it's getting a little past lunch. It's past lunch, getting close to supper.
3:40
what you're
play.
getting.
2nd and 3 here for the Cats on what was a 7-yard gain. Now it's just Slinkard up the middle. Looks like he could break back to the near side on a cut. Got past the 10, down just shy of the 5, so about the 7.
Well, I got 40 first downs in this game between the two teams, 20 each. And the Hornets have scored. It's 21-20, awaiting the extra point or the go for 2. Some high drama across the way in Washington County.
1st and goal from the 3 for the Rams. From the 7, rather. I looked at the scoreboard. My bad.
Mount Vernon's got 12 players on the field. And
hey, I hear they can't do that.
Mount Vernon called timeout to prevent a penalty. As I'm sure that's going to happen in this case, Chris. When you got a game like this and you're shuffling people in and out that need to play, you're going to have multiple people on the field and maybe have one too many or one not enough.
This timeout's brought to you by Ford Square Mount Vernon. Fuel economy has been redefined with the all-new 2011 Ford Fiesta with up to 40 miles per gallon highway. It's a pretty big deal. Ford Square, where the best never rests. You said drama in Washington County, huh?
21-20. Nashville deciding on the extra point or the 2-point conversion. Point to tie, 2 to take the lead.
What would you do?
Oh, let's see. Playing at home, you gotta go for the tie. You're 2-2. You can't be doing anything silly. As far as I don't think. I think, it's a gutsy call if you go for 2 and get it. I mean, you get to be the hero, but
Right.
and with that's games with 32 seconds to go. It wouldn't surprise me Matt Gajewski goes for 2. Really wouldn't.
We'll see what happens, won't we?
Mm-hmm.
Or read what happens. Here it comes on a handoff. Logan Hunt. We're going to go off tackle up the right. Gets to about the 5. Gain of 2. It'll be second and goal from the 5.
Still waiting. I'm Blackberry watching here.
2:45 mark of the fourth quarter is where we will approach.
I'm sure there was a timeout called to decide what everybody's going to do.
49-14 is the Marion lead here, possibly about to punch one in. Carson Cash, the quarterback. Slinkard, the lone back. In the slot right side will be Caleb Terry, a junior. Handoff will go to Slinkard, and he finds running room and gets in the end zone. It is 56-14 Marion.
And again, and you assess the Marion Wildcats because they're going to have bigger things going on in their season as they now will improve to 4-1. I think, Chris, at times they're impressive today with their ability to throw the football in short pass situations, get their athletes out in the open and go. But I think there are some major question marks with this team. Number one, the number of penalties they had. Number two, their defense. And I think their defense is not as strong as has been in the past. And the way Mount Vernon ran the football on them and also was able to throw the ball on them, that's going to be something they have to shore up if they want to make a deep run if they get into the 5A playoffs.
And here comes the kick, and it's up and good. So it's 56-14 after the PAT. 2:25 remains here in the fourth quarter. Rams football presented by Banterra Bank. Banterra's online banking is convenient, efficient, and best of all, safe. Their security is your best defense. Banterra Bank, banking with local style. Member FDIC.
2:25 remaining in the ballgame. Marion Wildcats 56, Mount Vernon Rams 14.
A lot of change has come to Marion in the Kerry Martin era.
Yes.
Created a culture, quote unquote.
Created a culture at Carterville. Won a state championship there in
Now,
96.
if I recall correctly, Kerry Martin was a student teacher and helped out with the football team at Benton.
Yep.
Then got a job at Sparta.
Yep.
Then went to Flora.
Yep.
And then to Carterville, wins a state championship, and then over to Marion for a challenge.
Yep. And that game heads into overtime.
Really?
21 all in Washington County. Just about time I get my radio out to start trying to find out what happened, I get a text. Always works out that way for me, the timing in my world.
Typically.
But I appreciate the update.
And here comes the kickoff back to receive. It'll be Travis Mitchell. One hands if it steps into the end zone. They're not going to call it. And he gets to about the 17.
Yeah, no touchback call. That was interesting.
And the clock will run here. 2:10 to play in the ball game. Who will be your Community First Bank of the Heartland player of the game? Community First Bank with more Jefferson County locations than anyone else. Locally owned with decisions made here. Proud supporters of the Mount Vernon Rams and Jefferson County with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. .142 remains in the ball game. Quarterback will be Thomas Weber. Has a lot of new faces to play with out there. Man in motion will be Jake Williamson. It's going to be handoff Williamson. He'll go around to the right side. 20, 25. We'll meet a wall of defenders. It'll be a gain of 8. It'll bring up second and 2. Of course, how about Winning Edge? They can customize just about any activewear, like a hoodie or a jacket. Don't believe me? Visit them online at winningedgeusa.com. Quality service and fast turnaround since 1977. They can do just about anything for the team, organization, or just for you. We drop below the minute mark here. Rams trailing 56-14 to the Marion Wildcats late. And it's 1st and 10 for the 24, so longer run than what I thought. Man in motion and slipping in the backfield. Looked like it was number 36, DeMarco Jefferson, the 5'5 sophomore. So Weber will come to the sideline to get some instruction from Jared Shaner. And the 6'4" sophomore quarterback heads on in with the play. 22 seconds to go in this one. Of course, we have your Bean Insurance post-game show coming up.
And time's going to run out on this one, I believe.
And that's all she wrote. So this one will be in the books. The Marion Wildcats improved to 4-1 this season. 2-0 in the South 7 Conference, while the Rams fall to 0-5 on your year and 0-4 in the South 7 Conference. The final, again, the Marion Wildcats 56, the Mount Vernon Rams 14. We'll come back with the Bean Insurance postgame show. This is Rams football on WMIX.
What happens when you add a new voice and more coaches' interviews to the Saturday Sports Show? You get 2 hours of talk you can't afford to miss. If you really want to stay up to date, you'll reserve a preset for AM 940 this Saturday, immediately following the 8 o'clock news. Beware, other sports shows are just talk. The new Saturday Sports Show on WMIX and MyWinnersRadio.com, presented by Crossroads Community Hospital. It's more than a hospital. It's what healthcare should be.
Hi, Roy Schmidt, Ford dealer, Ford Square, Mount Vernon. When you're talking about the 2011 Ford F-150 full-size pickup, 2 words pretty much sum up the whole deal. The best. Whatever the measure, the 2011 Ford F-150 full-size truck is best in performance, best in miles per gallon, best towing, best payload, best communication system. And now the best part is the huge incentive. Receive up to $6,500 cash back on the F-150 or receive 0% financing through Ford Motor Credit. We have the best inventory in Southern Illinois of the 2011 Ford F-150s. So come into Ford Square today at 1501 Broadway and let us show you the best truck in America, where the best never rests in Mount Vernon, Illinois.
If you want a successful business, you need good partners. And if your need is printing, you won't find better partners than Mark and Carrie Smith.
Helping people is what we love.
But we need help with our financing.
That's why the Smiths and hundreds of local businesses trust Banterra. Banterra is the area's #1 financial partner, offering commercial loans, treasury management, and remote deposit services. With Banterra as your partner, you can concentrate on what you do best. Banterra, banking with local style.
Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
When it comes to bone and joint care, only one name should come to mind: the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Your fellowship-trained physician's first priority is specialized orthopedic care, ranging from total joint replacement and spine surgery to shoulder surgery and sports medicine. Our surgeons provide a wide range of specialized treatments that are unparalleled anywhere in Southern Illinois. Located on Veterans Memorial Drive in Mount Vernon and St. Mary's Good Samaritans in campus, the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Discover the difference.
If I could see into the future, you know what I want to know? I want to know how the whole thing is going to turn out. Did I make the right decisions for my business? Helping my daughter memorize all 50 states in alphabetical order. Did it really matter?
Understanding that the future is about planning, not worry, is why Erie Insurance is above all in service. Auto, home, business, and life. Your Erie agent is waiting for you.
Your Erie agent in Mount Vernon is the Bean Insurance Agency. Get a quote at 242-6017.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX. The Bean Insurance postgame show starts now.
And welcome back to J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium. The Mount Vernon Rams fall 56-14 to the Marion Wildcats. Chris Hugo, Dan Czerwinski for the Bean Insurance postgame show. And Danny, it just wasn't meant to be today, was it?
No, and again, you go back, Marion jumps on top 14-0 in this game, and Mount Vernon took a step back and looked and got back to within 14-8. C.J. Lloyd goes on a 34-yard touchdown run, and Mount Vernon's back to within 6. And Mount Vernon gets the ball back and marches down to the Marion 2-yard line and was unable to put the ball in the end zone. They fumbled it. That's where the momentum changed. Marion then scores the next 5 touchdowns in the ball game after that. Totally swung the momentum at the fumble and, of course, with the touchdowns. And Marion runs off and wins 56-14.
That is your final. This is the Bean Insurance postgame show. Of course, we have your Heartland Accounting final stats coming up in just a bit. Level the playing field at Bean Insurance in Mount Vernon with a multitude of the top-rated companies to choose from. Bean Insurance might just be able to get you better coverage at a better rate. Stop by or call Beat Insurance 242-6017. That's 242-6017. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll have those Heartland Accounting final stats. This is the Beat Insurance postgame show on WMIX.
Daydreaming of owning a home? People's National Bank can help your dreams become a reality. We are excited to offer Smart Move mortgages. Smart Move offers affordable fixed-rate financing, down payment assistance, and closing cost assistance for qualified borrowers. Call me, Joy Schrader, mortgage specialist, at 241-6928 today for details. People's National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hey, are you thinking of starting your own business? Or maybe you already own your own business and have tax questions? Call Heartland Accounting today. At Heartland Accounting, we specialize in small business planning. Let us help you with your business bookkeeping, sales taxes, payroll taxes, or maybe just some solid business advice. Get started right and let us help you make your business a success. Call Heartland Accounting of Mount Vernon today at 244-7077 or stop by 3000 Broadway, Suite 2B.
This is Rams football on WMIX, powered by Banterra Bank.
Welcome back to the Beat Insurance postgame show. Chances are you're paying too much for auto insurance. Discounts await at the Beat Insurance Agency. You won't know how much you can save until you give them a call. Beat Insurance 242-6017. That's 242-6017. 56-14 your final. The Marion Wildcats improved to 4-1 on the year. They are still undefeated, 2-0 in the South 7 Conference, while the Rams fall to 0-5 overall, 0-4 in the South 7. Make that 0-2 in the South 7. How about that? I think that works a little bit better. We have your stats now, calculated by Heartland Accounting. Let's take a look at the final stats.
Unofficial stats, both teams even with 20 first downs by my count. Turnovers 5 for Mount Vernon, 2 for Marion. Penalties, Mount Vernon only 4 for 35 yards. Marion 10 penalties today, I should say, for 77 yards. The rushing department, Marion with 285 compared to Mount Vernon's 218. Passing was all Marion, 239 yards for the Wildcats, 57 for Mount Vernon. Total yardage, Marion with 519, Mount Vernon with 275. Your rushing leaders, Dominic Gardner, 16 carries, 84 yards for the Rams. Shaquille Ivey had 9 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown for Marion. Clayton Reeves, 6 out of 13, 57 yards throwing for Mount Vernon today, while Marion's Matt Lewis goes 16 of 20 with an interception, 235 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The leading receiver for Mount Vernon, Liana Badger, 4 catches, 55 yards, while Justin Ivey had 5 catches, 111 yards for Mount Vernon, or I should say for Marion, as the Wildcats beat Mount Vernon today, 56-14.
Of course, we still have your Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game coming up. This is the Beat Insurance postgame show. We'll take a break. Rams football on WMIX.
When you want the best, think the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. The Orthopedic Center has the unique distinction of being one of only 2 non-academic accredited orthopedic teaching and research facilities in the state of Illinois. Our goal in education is to inspire the next generation of orthopedic surgeons. Patient care, education, and research are our core strengths. Located on Veterans Memorial Drive, Mount Vernon, and St. Mary's Good Samaritans Centralia campus, the Orthopedic Center of Southern Illinois. Discover the difference.
Hi, this is Joe David Cummins, President of Community First Bank. If you are looking for a bank that still has people in the lobby, personally answers your phone calls, and is focused exclusively on Jefferson County, stop by and see us. We have safe deposit boxes, free checking with free internet banking, and debit cards tied to the Mount Vernon Rams, Ina Hornets, and Woodlawn Cardinals. And coming soon, debit cards tied to St. Mary's Knights with a portion of the revenue generated by your use donated back to your school. Community First Bank with locations in Mount Vernon, Woodlawn, and Ina. Welcome back to Personal Banking. Member FDIC.
This is Mount Vernon Rams football on WMIX. Time now for the Community First Bank of the Heartland Player of the Game.
And welcome back to the Beat Insurance postgame show. The Marion Wildcats pick up a big road win here at J.D. Shields Memorial Stadium by a final of 56-14. Danny Czerwinski's alongside. I'm Chris Hugo. And Danny, I really think today that C.J. Lloyd, even before he had to be taken out via ambulance, probably had the best game of all the running backs, even scored a touchdown, and I think he has to be the player of the game.
Yeah, I mean, he had 4 carries in the game, scored the Rams' first touchdown for 86 yards, did a great job running the football when he was in there, did a lot of good things, not only running, but other blocking and his team things as well. So very impressed today with C.J. Lloyd. He, even though we send our prayers and our good thoughts with him as he was carted off here in an ambulance, but he had a great game here for Mount Vernon coming off the bench.
that he did. Of course, great traditions aren't given. They're earned through hard work and commitment. That's just what they believe in at Community First Bank of the Heartland. Proud sponsors of the Rams. A great tradition. That'll do it for us today. We remind you the final score, 56-14. The Mount Vernon Rams fall to the Marion Wildcats. The Rams are now 0-5 on the year. The Wildcats improved to 4-1. Their next action comes as they host Althoff next week. The Rams will host Carbondale on Friday night. That'll be a 6:40 pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff on WMIX somewhere. For Danny Czerwinski, for Jesse Clark, back to studio for Avery Barton, who handled the camera today. I'm Chris Hugo. So long from the King City.